Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're well. I would hope that you guys could share this out for me. Share, share, share. Sharing is caring. And I'll be right back. Let me know if the audio is fine. So, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube, and it's a RC and Coffee. Share this out, and I'll be back here shortly.
Nitro is the glory, but e-buggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this grabbing racing.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right.
See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about it.
Here we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no! I like this.
Yes, indeed. Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Woo! It is Monday afternoon at 12 o'clock here on the East Coast. We hope you guys are having a lunch break. We got Tracy Patterson in the house and Death Grip RC. Can you guys hear me clearly? If you can hear me clearly, let me know in the comments. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We do have a poll going on YouTube right now. And it is Mikhail Orlovsky the best all-around RC racer in the world right now? I don't know. I feel weird. I need my glasses on. Oh, we got what's up, Lex? How you doing? Good to meet you this past weekend. We got Troy Nicholson, Bob's RC. Long time no see, my friend. RC Victory Lane. What's up, BJ? Yep, that is the question. If you can fill it out, go on the. Sorry, it's a poll on the YouTube. What's up, Tony? Thank you to you and Josie and everybody who came out this weekend. I had a lot of fun at Compound 24. Josie did a good video. RC Hubs and Hers. Go over there, please. Share that go over there to RC Hubs and Hers. It's Josie Patashao and Tony's channel. And I had a blast doing some crawling, but we're going to talk more about that. We got, hey, Mr. Vasquez, how you doing? Alex Schultz, how you doing? Slowest Fast RC Podcast. You guys have Motorama coming up soon. I forgot about that. That's coming up next weekend. Weekend after next. Hello, Richard Nichols. How are you, sir? So, yeah, before I get started, guys, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you guys out there. Without you guys, none of this is possible. The NNRC squad around the world. I know it's been some time since I've been live with you guys, but some of you join me live on the live streams that we done on this trip. I'm still in Florida at Lake City. I'm here in the camper, makeshift studio set up here. Thank you to Lance for his hospitality having me here as well. Oh, this weekend is Motorama. Oh, awesome. Sweet. That's another race I want to get to one day. And see all the cool stuff. Well, good luck to everybody going to that. And I believe 46 RC will have the coverage. That's what Toby was doing some advertising. So good luck to him. You know? And I don't have any home of the hustle, get shit done coffee in this. But you should get some. And we have links for that in the written description. And I got a little slice of that. Also, a big shout out to all the sponsors that make this possible. A big shout out to J Concepts. Cool thing. I went on to J Concepts here early after Beast of the East and did an interview, my first real face-to-face interview. Okay, I've done them with JQ and Dominant Races, but this is like going to be a face-to-face interview with Paul Wynn. Don't know when it's going to come out, but it's going to come out sometime. It's going to be edited up sometime soon. But thank you to J Concepts for all their continued support. A big shout out to High Tech RCD, Sidewinder, Fuels, Invisible Speed, ML Toys for all your ride-on Power Wheels needs. Beach RC, Techno RC, get shit done coffee. Oops, sorry. Elite RC Productions, who has had a blast with. Excuse me, guys. One Up Racing, got to meet Randy Castor at INS. Mayako, A Main Hobbies, SMC Racing, SJ Racing, Clinic RC, and Racecraft USA, who is unfortunately looks like they're going to be closing her. But thank you for all the support. Big shout out to our drivers, David Runnerfall, Robert Batty, Alexander Hagberg, Pecco Evening, Una Hotton, and Mason Fuller. So good stuff. All righty. So, all right, we got a lot of comments going on in here. What's up, Jason? Just going to say hello to everybody. Wolf says, I just want to get to a race. Absolutely. Hey, Danny Klaas, how are you? He's tuned in from Belgium. Please share this, guys. We do have some super chats going. We super chats help us out. We greatly appreciate that. You can become a member as well if you want, and don't forget you can become a Patreon member or a YouTube member. And for the price of a cup of coffee per month, you can help support the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. What's up, Captain J? He says, nice work. I need that hat. I know. I love these J Concepts hats. Thank you to J Concept. It fits me good. What does Alex? I didn't. So here's the thing. I didn't watch. Why is this so small? I don't like this. Hold on, guys. Is my screen small? I've done something here. Oops. All right. I don't have a clue why this is so small. But anyway. Weird. It's too tiny. I can't even read the comments. All right. Alex Hagberg will give him some run in 12 scale at the World in China, but the maybe untouchable. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Not sure what you're talking about, BJ. We got Paul in here from Poland. Kevin Mendez, what's up? Sucks to hear about Chasing being sold out. Now let's talk 8 scales coming. 8 scale races coming. Yep, we'll get into that. Oh, what's up, Chase? How you doing? See, I'll offer it. Yeah, it's now Wolf67. What's up, Clay Keats? How's Chevelle? Hope you guys are doing well. Love all the social media and Instagram stuff that you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. And looks good in Colorado. Thank you. Jeremy Pickett, my son Caden says hello. What's up? How you doing? I'm having a coffee. So we have links for all of our sponsors in the written description of this podcast. Showing them some love shows us some love. Let them know that you heard about them on the No Name RC podcast. What's up, Kyle Murphy? How you doing? I stopped by Triple Nickel yesterday morning. First time ever going there. Beautiful, beautiful track. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. I am still in Florida. I am headed back to back home on Wednesday. There are some talks of maybe staying for the triple nickel race. Everybody wants me to stay, but I gotta go home. I gotta see my kids. Hey, Paxton, how you doing? Paxton Herman tuning in. Calvin Bruce. Yep, I know all of. Yep, I know what you're talking about, Kevin. Look, I have that in my notes, so we're good. We're good. But we hope you guys have one. It's President's Day today. I didn't realize it was a holiday today. So happy President's Day to all of our American listeners. And happy Monday to all of our European listeners. Somebody tag David Bowman the Basement. He hasn't been in there for quite some time. All right, everybody. If you can, please share this out. Let's get over 100 people in here. And let's do some talking of some RC. And yeah, let's do some RC stuff. But we have a lot of races to go over. I'm not going to go into depth of a lot of the races. I was talking to Will and Max. They're going to do recaps on both EOS because Will was there and the MKGP. In fact, I need to bring up the MKGP results. BJ, where are the MKGP results? Is it on Live RC or is it on RC? My RCM. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Happy Monday to you, sir. It was good seeing you a couple weeks ago in what I really enjoyed the weather in Wisconsin. So I was happy there. It was nice and cold. I loved it. It was definitely for fat guys. So it was good. Okay, here we go. Why is this so small? No, I don't want it like that. Sorry, guys. It's just weird. Something's going on with my, here we go. Back to normal. There we go. How was that NASCAR race? Dude. So that's my second race I went to. It was the duels, and it was awesome. It was very fun. The weather was great. I think I walked about 10 miles that day. We walked all around. We went down there early. Big shout out to Lance and his wife for taking me down there. I had a great time. I liked the quick 60 lap format. It was Daytona. It was just awesome, man. It was like I wanted to grow a mullet and just be cool. It was awesome. He says, Wisconsin's having a fat guy, but bring medium shirts to hand out. I got a big boy shirt, but that's not us. That's you gotta talk to Jason about that one. Or maybe they're all gone by the time they were there. They go fast. What's up, Sam Arsenal? How you doing? But yeah, so it's been a pretty exciting 4 weeks on the road now. Yeah, it's 4 weeks, coming on 4 weeks. Obviously, we started with the Beast of the East race in Lucama. We've done that. It was our third year. Unfortunately, it was highly affected by the weather, the turnout. So not many people made it because they had a severe snowstorm coming. Actually caused the race to end early because it was very less people. So that was unfortunate because we've had good turnouts at that event before. And it's been fun, right? So hopefully they can recoup for next year and we could go there. And then obviously we had SIC, which was in Alabama, which was not on entrance too because SIC and TNR were on the same day. We'll talk more about those races here in a short second. And then we capped it off with the INS finals at Trackside, which is the biggest race of all of them that we went to, which was huge. It was like 390 entries. We had 4 or 5 heats of mod just alone. The racing in the expert spec classes was amazing. Mod was all Chase Lemieux. I do have a 35-minute recap video of that coming out tomorrow. That will be available on NNRC channel, Elite RC channel, and the Jace Concepts channel. It's just getting edited up. And yeah, it was. What's up, Adam Placer? How are you? It was. All right. So BJ says neither Live RC nor my RCM had the MKGP results from what I can find, Lefty. Live RC, yeah, I read that Bartek Zalowski swept 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive though. But Will and Max are going to do individual recaps on those 2 races. And we'll go from there. But we're going to talk about some RC news. We're going to have some talks. We're going to hang out with you for a little while. It's Monday. Mondays suck. So grab a coffee if you're not having lunch and let's talk RC. But before we do that, I'd like to say thank you to Techno RC for all their continued support. And yeah, I don't know, man. I think Techno is coming up with a new car. That's what it seems like. I've been looking at all these new Technos with the new rear, well, the wider rear pivots and all that stuff. So is it going to be a 2.3 coming out? I don't know. All you techno heads would know more than me, but I think I want a nitro car this year. Maybe it's going to be a techno. But thank you to Techno for all their support. We greatly appreciate it. And here you go.
Techno RC. Techno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance A-scale, 10-scale, nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Techno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Techno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.technorc.com.
Thank you, Techno RC. There you can see the comments popping up there. Don't forget, everybody, we have a poll going on in the YouTube chat. So if you want to take part of that, you can. Also, super chats, man. Super chats, members, we love them. We need them. We need them for this podcast to survive. All right. Wolf says, you know more than me. Techno doesn't tell me anything. Yeah, they don't tell me much either, but I'm just putting pieces together. I'm waiting for that short course drop. So we'll see. All right. So let me bring up my notes because I'm going off kilter here. So I talked about Beast of the East. And then we actually had 3 races, if I'm not mistaken, on the same weekend after that. So we had SIC, TNR, and if I'm not mistaken, we had EOS Dawn the same weekend. So we'll talk about that in a minute because all those races were cramped up because of one race, in my opinion. But that's just it is what it is. Let's talk about Dawn real quick. So EOS Dawn, they're actually going to have 2 EOSs this year. So they're going to have one at Dawn, and then they're going to have one at the Hootie Arena. But it was Mike Mikhailowski, dude. He swept it. He won 2-wheel drive. He won 4-wheel drive. Daniel Kubovic came second. Marcus Carrick came third in 2-wheel drive. In 4-wheel drive, it was Orlowski, Bartosz Zaleski, and Una Hartman. I haven't watched any of it because I was at a race. So I'm just giving you results. I don't even know what happened. So if anybody knows anything that happened, we can talk about it in there. But Max and Will will do a full recap of that. Then we had ETS the following weekend. And it was Ronald Volker, Mark Reinhardt, and Mikhail Orlowski. So I thought Mikhail Orlowski swept everything, but he didn't. He didn't win. He didn't win touring car, but Ronald Volker did at Mugen, followed by Reinhardt and Orlowski. Okay, let's talk about the TNR challenge. Oh, man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not getting into. I don't want to get into the he said stuff, but there were a lot of complaints about this race, and there always seem to be a lot of complaints about this race. It's a beautiful venue. It looks great. I heard people complain about they didn't like the track. I heard a lot. I feel bad for the race promoter, but at the same time, it's so much that a lot of it's preventable. We've heard these complaints of going over the cap before many times from the TNR races and stuff like that. But they had a race. They had coverage. And that's where the majority of the pros went instead of going to SIC. And I can't understand why they went there because it is it's probably a much better location than SIC, I would say. It's up there in NorCal or whatever. Not NorCal, California, but in the high desert of SoCal. It's under a roof. It's open sides. The weather's better. It's a bigger track. And I believe they do payouts. And I know a lot of racers go there. Hey, Mark Souza, how you doing? That's right. Supersonic. Lit. That was a joke. How you doing, Mark? Hope to see you at some races this year, my friend. I feel bad because I think that the TNR race it just needs somebody. I think Chris is trying to please everybody. That's what it sounds like. He's trying to please everybody. He's got everybody in his ear. And he's trying to race. And he's trying to organize this and do everything himself. I think what has to happen with the TNR A main challenge if it wants to go forward and not have this negative stereotype always after, because it seems to always have this. Because I think it's a great race, a great location, and can be very good. I think he needs to put people in position to run these big races for him. And then he can just focus on the other stuff. So I think if he can do that and get somebody in there that can run a race good for him and not take any shit from nobody and not listen to what everybody says, I think it can be a successful event. But I didn't hear a lot of good things about it from many different sources. So I just don't want to iterate that. It got pretty bashed in the internet, which just sucks, but you know how the internet is. But I mean, we had pretty much all the top guys. We had Borat Killick there. I was surprised that he went there. He did pretty good. But in Pro Nitro Buggy, we had Seth Van Dalen taking the win. And you know what? I have to give Seth Van Dalen his flowers because, I mean, this was a top 25 race, if I'm not mistaken. So it had definitely all the contenders that would be there. Is it the level of maybe, say, a Worlds or a Nationals? Or I think it was about the level of Nationals. Is it the level of, say, a DNC or Big PNB or AMS when the international guys come up? Maybe not. Maybe just a hair under that. But still a great big win for Seth Van Dalen. Well done, SVD. He takes the win, followed by Borat Killick and Fee Long in Nitro Buggy. In Pro E Buggy, it was Fee taking the win, followed by SVD, Seth Van Dalen, Borat Killick. So Borat had a good weekend. And then Pro Nitro Truggy was Borak, Ryan Mayfield, and Seth Van Dalen. So Seth Van Dalen had a great weekend. Borak had a good weekend. And Fee had a decent weekend. Congratulations, because it was some tough talent at that race. So good on them. Good on them. 53. Wolf says, biggest thing I noticed was all the lazy races that couldn't get up to Marshall. I did hear that was a big issue. I heard that was a big, big issue. I didn't get to watch much of it, to be honest. Mark says, doing good. You'll see me at PNB and JCINS at RC1. Absolutely. I think I'll be there as well. Is JCINS after PNB? I can't remember. What's up, Sean Brennan? How you doing, sir? Hopefully we get to see Schulford come down to some. Maybe he'll come to RC1. That's close to Canada for him. Taylor DeLosa, how you doing, my friend? Oh, my goodness. Everybody, please go over to RC Hers and Hubs, or Hubs and Hers. And I got fourth place in my first ever mini crawler comp. I had a good time. Christian was a great coach. Josie was not a good coach. But I had fun. We had fun at the Compound 24, 20 places. I'm geeking out on that. All right, so SIC. So as we guys know, SIC usually is the jump off. It's the jump off of the 8-scale season in the USA. It has been for many years, and it usually gets all the attendance of all the big drivers. Well, except Spencer Rifkin. He doesn't go there for some reason. He doesn't like it, he says. But this year, because of Silver State being first week of January, this caused SIC to move their dates, right? And then the only date that he could get was on top of, which he ended up being on top of TNR race. So there we go. We're going to be split already. So the West Coast guys are going to go over to the West Coast. And then I think we had Fenn, Caston, Brandon Rose, Tyler Jones in the new WIRC. Who else did we have there? Hold on, let me see. Josie, put the link for your channel in the chat. You should be on YouTube doing this. You should be under your YouTube name doing this, Josie. And don't forget, we need to get some super chats, guys. Let me see. So we had Dakota Fan, Taylor Sontag, Cole Caston, Brandon Rose, Julian Oliveras, and Tyler Jones. Those are the top pros that showed up for SIC. Very light. But is my mic coming through cool? Because I can't hear. I'm on. Let me check. If my mic great. Oh, hold on. Let me check. Thank you, because that's what I if my mic isn't coming through. Oh. I do apologize. Testing 1, 2, 3. You hear me now? Why did everybody say my mic sounded like crap? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, Lance. I know they just filmed me.
See a little switch right there, folks? Little switch where it has the two letters that say O and N. That usually means on. So it might work better now. Can we
Testing. I'm sorry, everybody. Thank you, Lance.
You shouldn't have. You were having a. It sounded like you were picking up by the camera.
That's what I was.
Okay.
But when somebody said it was loud and clear, I was like, okay, we're good. Hey, it took the audio guy to come in here and fix my audio. Yeah. Thank you, Lance.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Okay. Hey, I embrace my mistakes, but I just talked for 25 minutes on a bad mic. See? Look at that. Idiot. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Idiot error. You guys are right. Look, roast me because that was silly. Thank goodness lads came in there because I'd have been trying to figure out what's up with my mic. But you guys did hear what I said, right? So I don't have to go repeat all that stuff again, do I? All right. I'm better. I'm better. I'm better. I'm better. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Oh, yes. Cody Watson was in the pro class, too. It was good to see him as well there. And Brandon Weekly jumped up. Actually was getting Brandon Weekly's car confused with Brandon Rose's car all the time. All right. All right. I saw him better now. I saw him better. Jake Lesko says, you weren't listening to you anyway. You know, Jake Lesko, I wish you would come to one of those comps because you're the only one that can handle that shuts up Josie Patashaw. It's not easy to make her be quiet. I'm so glad you said that, JP Sweek. And then Lance came running in. I was like, what happened? But you know, that's hey, you know, in a makeshift studio, I'm honestly not used to using these mics. And here I am trying to talk into it. All right, let's go. That's gonna make a good blooper reel. All right, so let's get back to SIC. So we had Fenn, Tater, Caston, B. Rose, Julian, Tyler. Then we had a few guys that usually run intermediate, bump up to pro. Cody Watson and Brandon Weekly. Unfortunately, very light turnout. Disqualifies the. Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Thanks for the content. I appreciate that. And you get to. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. Actually, I'm not, because I always make mistakes. Don't drag me into your drama with Josie. No drama with Josie. Thank you, JP. Thank you, Lance. Thank you, all you guys, for sticking around with me while I sounded like I was in a fish tank. But let's get back to SIC. So SIC also was under this weather scare because it was cold and people were worried about getting snowed in. Well, we had a light turnout. I think we had 300 and something entries, but it actually made for a comfortable weekend of racing because it was cold. So people would come out, they would race, go back in. I thought the track was amazing. I thought it was one of the best layouts I've driven on in a while. All the jumps were easy. It got a little rough. I raced too. Well, I wouldn't call it racing, but I survived and I didn't finish last. And I have to admit, Danny Paz won the first round of the 2026 Danny Paz Lefty War. Convincingly, he made the A final and I did not. On his brand new E-Truggy, built by Justin Turner. Thank you, Justin Turner, for building that. It was a beautiful truck. I'm going to make some upgrades to my Truggy. We're going to put some 2.2 shock towers on it and probably get some RC project stuff and get it all working. And yeah, it's not the microphone. It's the operator. It was me. Lads was been going crazy in there of the audio. But we raced Sportsman E-Truggy. I was getting nervous up there. I kind of just pulled out of the way. I don't want to mess up people's. I'm not making excuses, but this is kind of how I feel. At these races, I'm not paying. I'm not paying my entry fee to race. I'm just racing. People are paying to race. I do not want to mess up anybody's race, right? But I still had fun. And I know I got in some people's way. If I got in your way, I do apologize. I was trying to pull out of the way, but I thought the track was good. And Danny got a bunch of secret practice. You know, let me tell you what Danny done. First, he snuck up on the driver's stand and got some practice. Then about 9:30, practice stopped at 10 Friday. Then about 9:30, Danny goes, "Oh, Lefty, I'm going to go check something on the stream." Lefty, Danny didn't come back to about 10:15, 10:20. And he let whatever that saying is, he let the bird out of the cage, and he says, "Lefty, it feels so good to be driving again." And I looked at him and I said, "You practice. You went out there and got more practice, didn't you?" And he said, "Yes." But you know what? I'm happy that he did practice. Pete, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate you, man. You're always giving us super chats. Pete wants me to come to the vintage race at the World of RC. But yeah, Danny Paz won 1-1. But you know what? this war between Danny and Paz and I will never be over. In fact, the only time it will be over is when I beat him. So it's probably going to go on for a long time. But who knows? But you know what was fun? Was people were into it, and people were like, when are you and Danny going to race? And then they got to see how bad I really drive. But I'm not that bad, but I'm not that good either. But the exciting racing for me was definitely in an intermediate class at the SIC. It was just a more relaxed atmosphere with the lower entry count. We kind of got out of there early Saturday. We got out of there early Sunday. People got on the road, but the intermediate class was definitely where the racing was. We saw a clash between Tater and Tater clashed with Fenn on the last lap of E-Buggy, and you could see Tater was like, oh shit, what did I do? But Fenn was cool about it. Fenn was there. I think Fenn coming to SIC instead of TNR was a good move. One, he's got to get a first race with him under his belt on the new Matrix tires that he's running. He did that. It was more of a relaxed situation where he didn't have that much competition, but still hard. He said that track had the hardest surface he's ever raced on, and it was a completely different surface from usual. So it was different. It was different. I would say it was grippy and then not grippy. That's the best way I could describe it. And it got rough, and I liked it, but the layout stayed good. All the jumps were easy. That big double was the big quads in the front. Give kudos to Bobby. He built a great layout. Even though it didn't have all the big entries that we're used to, it was still a great race, right? And the intermediate class, we saw Mad Maddie Long. Let's see, I wrote it down here. She won intermediate nitro buggy, followed by Ryan Daze and Aiden Ridgway. They were having some good battles. We saw Mad Maddie take Truggy, followed by Wilson Cowart and Will McIver. And the E-Buggy was Aiden Ridgway, Patrick Rossiter, and Will McIver as well. So a little mix of youth as well as veteran racers. So racers like Mad Maddie, Wilson, and Aiden, even Daze, we've been watching over the last 3 years growing up and racing, and they're getting fast. And I see Mad Maddie's going to DNC. And then there's another group of racers coming behind them that are younger. So it's really awesome to see this type of stuff. The youth are the future, and we need to push them. So that was, honestly, the intermediate drivers put on a good show for us. Sportsman had some good races. 40 Plus had some good races. This was a good SIC. Now, I don't know what the future of SIC will be, but I know that it's probably not going to be in January anymore, because now January is too crammed up. That should have been my poll question. Do you think that everything's too crammed up? Which it is. I mean, Jason Rona and I talked about it on our INS live show. INS show that we put up. About that, it's just too much races right after January, right? It was Silver State, Clash, it's just too much. So I think that we're going to see SIC move, but that's cool. We got P&B coming up. What's up, Dwayne Billings? Yes, AJ Rodriguez is very fast. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about the fast intermediate kids over in that participated in TNR race. I have not been able to check anything. So I do apologize, but I know AJ Rodriguez is fast. He's from up the Pacific Northwest. So, good. So, anyway, good racing in SIC. It was a comfortable race for us and for everybody. I think everybody was kind of happy to get out of there at an earlier time because it was cool. It was cool for a lot of people. And I think people still got their runtime, and it was a comfortable race. See, that shows that you can have lower entries and still be a good race. Obviously, not as good for the race promoter, because obviously this race has to make money. But we'll see what the future holds for SIC. I do not believe it's going to be in January anymore. So that is the talk about it. What's up, Brian Bergen? I absolutely agree with you on this, Jeremy Pickett. I wish more events offered a youth novice class. But then it gets hard. Then you have one young racer like Felong. Felong could enter every youth race because he's 15. But he's going to demolish all these young guys. So I would love to see it. And Mad Maddie is definitely coming along a lot faster. If there's any advice I would give to Mad Maddie, and I've told her this, I told her parents this, and I told her that, was you need to put those elbows out. Like, stop being scared. once she gets over that timid and puts her elbows out and not being scared, but being timid around drivers, she's gonna be unstoppable. She's gonna be really good. What's up, Tony Schumacher? You missed the beginning, and a good thing you did because it was piss poor audio. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. So after we got home from SIC, it was a quick turnaround. I think we got home Sunday, late Sunday, and then we was on the road at 2 a.m. Tuesday to Wisconsin, and we drove straight through. We got to Wisconsin at 8 p.m. We got to see snow for the Friday. I've been in snow before, but not much. And it was cold. I loved it. I enjoyed the cold weather. Danny and Lance didn't like the cold weather. I liked it. And then we went up to INS, which I love it. Up trackside is awesome. Our second year going up there. It was a big race. It was a big 10 scale race. It was over the cap. It was 390 entries, but it made it work. And if you haven't been to trackside, it's not the biggest place. It's small. It crammed up. But it was awesome. And the racing was good. They built a good track. We had Nicola Moroni show up from Italy. We had a big TLR team with Ben Ellis there. Big Schumacher team. A lot of guys have moved over to Schumacher. Huge associated team with the factory track satellite team on the side. And then I would say a decent sized X-ray team, but not as big as it was last year. And you had Randy Castor from One Up there. You had Troy from Amy and Coyote there. Obviously, you had Charlie Swanka, Matty G there. We had guys, the Raymond twins bumping up to Maud, which was great. Jason Run was there, but you can see, like we was talking about the tire wars. There were tires coming out everywhere. J Concepts trying some new tires or some new compounds. Actually, I drove a lot, Jake Lasco. I drove a lot, so I did sleep too, but I drove a lot. And Lance drove too. When he got tired, he drove. He slept, and I drove. But yeah, INS was fun. I had a lot of fun. Free popcorn. It was a good racing, man. But the best racing, in my opinion, was in the intermediate, I would say expert spec class. I'm not calling it stock. We'll call it expert spec. Man, Dominic Passioni, Aaron Mitchell, and Dustin Fox, as well as Brady Carrico, Luke Prevacek. Oh, man, those guys put on a show. Impressive. I really enjoyed INS. I'm probably going to do a live show about it, but you can stay tuned to our quick recap that's coming out. It's going to have all cool edits and all that stuff as well. Hopefully that comes out tomorrow. Depends on Danny Paz if he's listening to this. But INS was awesome. And I really... now that I have a year under my belt, getting to know the racers, the point structure, everything, now I can talk about a lot more stuff. And you can see this year, it's all about the points. I got to meet Chris Hackinson. That dude's awesome. I like that guy. Just a good event, man. I had a lot of fun. Cold weather, I would get hot. I go outside and just hang outside with guys in, with no shirt, like no jacket on. Guys are like, it's not even that cold. Yeah. Team 11RC says, I had a great time at INS, my first national level off-road race. Lex had a 3D. So what I am seeing in the 10 scale world is a lot of tinkering with 3D printing. Fully 3D printed car that only broke once the entire weekend. And he made podiums with it. So congratulations to Lex. And just good talking to him. Good to meet people, man. I'm really been geeking out on 10 scale. I like it. Good. We had 3 heats of short course truck. We had 3 heats of stadium truck too. 4 heats of mod. Excuse me, guys. I gotta have my asthma inhaler here. It was good. And Team 11RCs, I'm working on making my own four-wheel drive. Gregory said, Captain J says, Gregory said Randy Castor bought a set of his own springs in the shop, found that I'm using. Yeah. Crazy, right? But a good event. I think Randy and Cav was impressive too. They're doing the whole series as well as Joe Pillars has come. I've never met Joe Pillars, so that'd be cool to meet him as well.
David Berman, what's your thought on the Motortech and scheduled practices at INS now? Past INS races Thursday was practice all day. Clash only had 3 practice sessions as well. I think there's too much practice at INS. I think there should just be Thursday practice. I think there should just be Friday practice and not open practice. Open practice is unfair. Open practice sucks. And you got to wait in line and all that stuff. Not for this, not in a series. But I think there's too much practice at INS right now. That's my opinion. Too much. We shouldn't have to be starting practicing for Wednesday. That's my thoughts. As for motor issues, Motortech, that's rules. I don't know what the Motortech thing is. I'm sorry, you're probably going to refresh me on that. That's not my that's not my job. I just talk. But I actually think less practice is better. Andrew Salvaggi, how you doing, Salvaggi? You and Max need to get together because we need some Max tangents. I gotta get it. He's been sick though. 10 scales of driver's test. It's at Lefty. If you can drive a modified 2-wheel drive on low grip, you can drive any RC car. I would agree with you. Yeah, I think that's going to be fixed in the new year and next year. Not as much practice. So I think if we could just make it where people could come on the Thursday, maybe get some practice in Friday, control practice Friday, get into some qualifying or get into seeding. I think that's all we need. I understand that the tracks make some money off the practice sessions, but it's requiring people to be there too long. That's my thoughts. But that's how it's going to be for this year, and then I think there's going to be some changes next year. You guys get more practice than 8 scale does, and 8 scale tracks change way more. But I definitely am not about open practice, and I'm definitely thinking that we do too much practice at INS. But it was a good event. I enjoyed it. It was good racing. Sorry, guys, my asthma's kicking in. It was great racing. And just if you have not, Jerry says, I did 0 practice INS. My seeding round was practice. Did you lose a pinion in one of your ones as well? My first time at the track, I struggled with lack of practice to get grips with different track surfaces. Yes, I understand that. I think we can still keep. I think just having that extra day of practice, for me, it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to be there anyway. But it requires people to be there. And I think that hurts a lot of, especially these young racers who are coming because it takes so much time off of school. Okay, it doesn't require you to be there, but you kind of have to be there, if you know what I mean. So I think definitely shortening this race makes it better. I would say that about a couple of 10 scale races. I think they need to be shorter. That's my thought on it. +1 on open practice sucks. 10 scale races over 250 actors need practice heats. I agree. That was 390. So, and it just keeps it fair, right? For everybody. I understand why 8 scale races have it, because there's so many entries and it's just, it's different. But I'm a fan of control practice. It's just fair for everybody. I lost opinion on Q-Force. Did you find your opinion, girl? I think you found it. Somebody found it. But more about INS in my report. And I'm going to do a show with Jamie Tennies because, man, Trackside's just a very unique place. Scotty stopped by. It was good to see him. Sarah Dew was there. We saw Sarah like 2 weekends in a row. We saw her in North Carolina. Then she was in Wisconsin. And it was good. I really have enjoyed my 2 trips to Trackside. And it's a race hobby shop. They don't really sell any bashing stuff. And that place was packed. And on Saturday and Sunday, people were coming in to watch. It was packed. And it was awesome. But the best racing was in spec. Well, let me go through some of the winners while we're here. I'm sorry, I do apologize. So it was Chase Lemieux. He wrapped everything up in 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. We could see some frustration from some of the racers there. But it was some good racing in that. But the real good racing was definitely in the spec expert class. Dominic Passione made probably the pass, one of the best passes I've ever seen on Dustin Fox. Aaron Mitchell was out there flying in that new Associated cars. I'm sorry, guys. I like stock. I like stock racing. What's up, Mike Bing? Me and Mike Bing were hanging out trying to see who would get colder faster in short sleeve shirts. He beat me. He came out in shorts. Shane Coffee, what is your opinion on PNB racing and Easter? It's not a big deal for me. I understand it's a big deal for some of you, but there used to be a big race every Easter that people went to. It's called Neoland. It's actually Neolandia or whatever now because it's going to be happening the same weekend. I have no issue. I have missed 3 Easters the last 3 years, and Easter in DR is awesome. So I have no issue with it. I understand some people might not like it, but hey, we're racing. Isaiah Foro, it's cool to see 10 scale everyone. I hope to see 10 scale gain some more numbers and outdoor racing in my area. Well, if you guys want to do some outdoor racing, that's the ONS. Make sure you guys come. I think I might be coming for that race. And yeah. Andrew Sovachi, we just watched TITC talking about practice. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. That race. If there's anybody that practices more than 10 scale guys offer it, it's Onward guys. They started practice 2 weeks ago. Let's see. He says, just watch TITC talking about practice. Over half the field arrived 1 week. I would say longer than that, somewhere down there 2 weeks. The event started. A lot of Aussies were there for 10 days. I'm all for time racing, but economics are hard. Yes, exactly. Mind you, I wouldn't mind being in Thailand for 2 weeks either. So if there is going to be a place to be for 2 weeks, it's Thailand. What's up, Cody Dudley? Shane, what's up, Rusty Dale? Thank you for becoming a member. Notch Johnson says, owner once told me our racers don't go to church. I'll be honest with you, RC is my church. Shane Coffee, do you think entrance will be lower? Maybe, but I think it still would be, who knows, dude? Who knows? PNB can be, I think the comfortable mark for PNB is 800. Well, who knows what it can be after that. But I think we'll be around 750 to 800 entries. So I think people's going to come anyway. I mean, I could understand if he was in a DR where Easter's a week-long holiday, but I mean, what, you guys didn't even get Good Friday off, don't you? No offense. See you at the track. The Neo race was every Easter. And then again, we have 3 races on the same weekend. We have PNB, the Neo, what is it called? Buggyland, Leoland race, which is Miguel putting that on. Which is cool. I actually would like to go to that race next year because I don't think PNB will be on the same weekend. And then we have the 12 scale worlds that weekend, followed by 10 scale worlds. All right. Chase Lemieux, we changed his name to Pace Lemieux. Well, I tell you what, man, them hot race tires and Chase were very good at trackside. To be expected. It is his home track. He's had many laps on there, and he's going to be fast. He wanted to make up for last year where he didn't win there. And we got some epic Aiden Horn interviews, but I think other guys left there frustrated. We also didn't see Nate show up. And I saw that Mason Fuller and Caden Fuller are both practicing with the S-Works cars, so I expect to see them at some 10-scale races too, which would be awesome because I would never seen them race that. I will talk about the new Southside Raceway coming up. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's not mine, it's Lance, but obviously I know a little bit about it. But it's amazing to see how the progress has been for that. And I'm just going through some of your comments. What's up, Cody Dudley? And then TITC, which took 3 weeks to run, saw Orlowski take the win, followed by Simon Lauter and the Japanese driver Akko is his name. I just watched the final recap of RC Racing TV. Coverage was done by RC Racing Media. But one of the things that I saw from that race, which I thought was awesome, let me see if I can find it, was watching Bruno Coelho lose a wing halfway down the straightaway and go flying. I'm not saying this is cool, fun that it happened to him, but man, That wing just snapped. But that's what that's what happens when you go uber light like these guys want to go. They go so light that things break at high pace. So
race of the weekend.
Let's
Coelho off the track
bring this up.
into the barriers. The whole tire barrier is destroyed as Coelho's car just take off on the straightaway. The car took off out of nowhere, and Coelho's race is done.
Let's see that again. So there you see Coelho coming on. His wing breaks off, and that car just loses all rear grip. I wonder how fast those cars are going on that back straightaway. 60, 70 miles an hour. Woo. Man. Is that Ronafalk? That is Ronafalk.
Best race of the weekend.
That again.
Oh, Coelho flies off the track into the barriers.
That's crazy.
The whole tire barrier is
crazy.
destroyed as Coelho's car just take off on the straightaway.
So I know what
the car took off out of nowhere, and Coelho's race is done.
Myself. All right. Well, on-road cars need wings. That's for sure. More heads-up qualifying, less practice. That's what Florida RC Championships is doing this weekend. So it's going to be all heads-up racing for qualifying. So heads-up racing for qualifying. It's all heads-up racing the entire weekend. That was pretty impressive. But once again, Mikhail Orlovsky goes over there, and Mikhail Orlovsky got minimum practice. He did ETS, then went over there. No, he did ETS, MKGP, which Bartosz Zalewski won, then went over to, he did. So Orlovsky did EOS, ETS, MKGP, then went over there to Thailand when other guys have been out there for 10 days or more and beat them all. All that practice. And the guy with the least amount of practice won. I just sip my coffee. Mikhail Orlovsky is probably the best all-around racer right now. Period. If he put some focus into Nitro, he'd be right up with these guys. So, but that looks like a fun race to go to. And RC Racing Media did good coverage from what I saw. And then we had RC Racing TV over there as well. So good stuff. Good stuff. Prototype M10-2. That's but the body, that's not the body. The body broke. The wings mounted to the body. What's up, Landon? How you doing, man? Your dad was in here earlier. Oh, did you see that J Concepts is going to be releasing the new reactor monster truck? Sonny Santucci. Where are you, buddy? We're going to build a monster truck. We're going to build us a race car. Can't wait. All right, let me go through my notes. Chassis. Oh, new chassis for Michael. Okay. Yeah, I see. That's how much I know about on-road notch. I didn't even know Schumacher had a new chassis. I know Pecco and JQ were there. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to talk to Pecco because he's going right over to DNC. He's going to do the whole week long prior to that, which is the fun part of DNC, going over the week before that, doing the practice and all that stuff. What's up, Anthony Donnelly? How you doing? Mayako mini monster truck. No, this is a J Concepts retro monster truck that I'm going to build. Like, it's like axle, motor on axle, like the Cloudbuster, and beat Danny Paz. Oh yeah. So after I was actually supposed to fly from Milwaukee straight home, and then Lance said, "Hey, the Daytona Duels is coming up. We could go down there and check that out if you stay." And I said, checked on my ticket. Oh, I can change my ticket. And I did. So I ended up staying. We went on to the Daytona Duel 125s, which was awesome. Awesome. Like, I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. And then Friday night, I went on to Tony and Joseph's. Did comp crawling with their just hanging out, man. Just hanging out, enjoying RC with friends. Christian Martinez came over. A couple other guys came over. Alan, David, Jason. And where Josie was off playing pickleball. She's all about pickleball now. Don't need to talk about that. Did that. She put up a video of me, or she roasted me. Then Josie and I went the next morning. We went on a toy hunt. I took her on a toy hunt to Target and Ross. We videoed that. Then when Tony came home Saturday, we did more crawling. And then I stayed up. Dude, I couldn't tell you the last time I stayed up to like 1 a.m. just wrenching this off. I got my new Ugly Betty truck. Thank you, JT, for sending that out to me. My buddy goes, hey, man, I need some space in my garage. Do you like this? I'm going to send you something. I was like, all right, cool. And then I got a box just before I went down there. And I was like, ooh. And it's Ugly Betty now. We're calling her Ugly Betty. And I took that out to Exo Cage. So Saturday was that crawling. Then I put some new tires on it, just hanging out. Like those guys have a nice garage with all their stuff. It was just awesome. Just to hang out, have a couple of beers, do mini crawling till late. Bryson came up Saturday. Just cool. Anybody who thinks that there's no skill or no science to extreme crawling, not like skill, I'm talking about going up obstacles and stuff like that. Man, I'm going to tell you guys, there is a lot of science in it. These guys had some badass 24 scale based rigs, and Compound 24 is awesome. Have fun. A lot of content. I did some vlogging, all that stuff. That's all coming on Lefty's RC Life as well. I also drove my first monster truck at SIC. My buddy Justin bought it. What's up, D? What's up, Teddy? I saw you in there earlier. And what's up, Chad Roberts? How are you, sir? Pecco goes to Revelation and Hobby Shop. It's fun to watch him run. He's an amazing driver. He is definitely a good driver. Very good. He's a good driver in all classes too. So, and then I went to Triple Nickel yesterday morning for the first time. They were having a club race. That's where the first round of the FRCC race is going to be. I truly feel like staying for the first round at FRCC. And I have my trucky. I can race. And they have a crawling course. It's tempting to stay, but my kids missed me. But it was cool, man. I got to, it was just cool to go to a club race. It was a lot of people there. The track looked great. And just got to talk to a few people. But I couldn't stay long because I had to go up to meet Gene at Joe Collins' Exoplex Exo Cage, where I was going to go take Ugly Betty to film some video. And thank you. NRTV said, good job on the mic at the J-Con race. I was geeking out over ours. It was long days. Long days, though. My voice was going by the end. And then I came home yesterday evening and just kind of chilled out. And now I'm just kind of sorting my stuff out to go home. And I said, I need to do a live because I haven't talked to you guys on an RC and Coffee and RC for quite some time. So I said, hey, what's up? And I made some notes, but I have not had time to look through any RC news or anything like that. So if you guys have some topics you want to talk about, let me know and I'll get into it. But before we do that, we're going to pay some bills. And I want to say a big thank you to Beach RC for all their continued support. I'm getting an S-Works GT. I need an engine for it, though. Anybody got a GT engine or recommend a GT engine? Let's work out something.
BeachRC.com, the Razor's one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, S-Works, Pro Circuit Racing tires, Nitro Lux fuels, and Assault RC performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Thank you to Beach RC for all the continued support. I see Lucas is busy making a bunch of content. I think they have a spec tire race coming up at Sumter. Good stuff. You guys have a affiliate link for Beach RC in the written description of this podcast. Please pick it up. Chad Roberts, I am not using the 4268 Coyote motor yet. I have not gotten one. I just saw it just came out. I need to get myself ESC and all that stuff. Hey, Keenan, it's Tony. I think Jimmy can. Yeah, I was talking to Jimmy about that. We'll see. He has a Nova. I want to try the Nova. But we're doing some GT racing with the new S-Works GT in the DR. I can't wait. My buddy Alex Waxman, who's like, if I was ever going to be a pro driver, would be my mechanic. I'm going to we're gonna build the car. He's gonna build it, and then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do some test sessions. And really, the goal is I want to make an A final and a top 5 in the DR because them guys are pretty good in GT, and it's about 25 of them. And then I like to get my son racing, so we'll see. So it might be a Nova engine from Classic RC Company. I got their 0.12, and it's great in my my truck, which hopefully I'm going to be running at ONS in a few weeks' time. All right. So upcoming races, we have Motoroma coming up this weekend, which should be good. Any top guys going? I'm sorry, guys, I haven't seen anything, but it's always a good event. Then we have DNC coming up. Then we go ONS, PMB, INS, I think. I can't remember. It's so much going on. Chad Roberts, tell us about how they will fix so ISC doesn't land on the TNR races. Well, I would say that the SIC races have been around way longer, and at that date, way longer than the TNR races, number one. Number two, it was an honest mistake because they can only get certain dates at that time because they had to move it because of Silver State. So Silver State truly kind of messed up everything, which is fine. I get it. He has to take the date when he can get it as well. So I think next year, from what I understand, Silver State will be kind of on the same weekend. DNC will be in May, and then I don't know when SIC will be moved to. So I'm not involved in those decisions, but I know it's going to be moved. It's obviously too many races in January, so it is. Bikes in Bolden, Rumble in the Rockies this weekend with pro guest this year, Aiden Horn. Hopefully, if you have coverage, you get a Raging Aiden interview when he self-interviews himself. So that is an issue. I think the whole issue. Also, you have to understand that the Silver State race was announced, 4 or 5 months prior to it being moved. So it just kind of. I'm just reading a comment. I don't know what this guy, Ryan Owens, he says, what are the goals of the Coffee and RC pod? Have they changed since the beginning? I mean, it's just having coffee and drinking coffee and talking about RC. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Right now, I'm drinking water. But sorry, we don't have goals for you, buddy. You can always go away. We was talking about, so SIC. I think that's just what's gonna have to happen is SIC is gonna move. You have an empty month now. May is wide open, so maybe it moves to May. Who knows? That's for the people that earn the race to do. See, when people make silly comments like that, I go see who they are. All right, so I know you guys have seen some other big news that I've been doing lately. Not me, but been involved with lately has been Southside RC is finally getting the roof on it. I just looked them up. Yeah, I don't see any RC whatsoever on this guy's timeline. So, yeah, that tells me that this guy is not an RC guy. But anyway, the shirt fit great, Paul Kotu. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I didn't have it on today. I have it on when I get home. Oh, my goodness. This is the race everybody wants to come back. I care more about race time when they decide to raise Southern Nationals from the grave. Yeah, that was a great race. And everybody that I've talked to wants that race to come back. But I also understand logistically it's difficult. And our Paul Kotu and his family have all taken over Triple Nickel. And they have done a great job down there. Beautiful facility. I didn't realize it was in a sports complex. So let's talk about Southside RC Raceway. So a lot of you have seen the videos that I've been sharing, that Lance has been sharing. So if you don't know, Southside RC Raceway has been around for a while. They held the 2018 Nationals. That was the first time I went. But I think for the last 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years, they built a retention pond next to it, took away all the parking. And the goal was for the county to move. They were moving it. They were going to move it to this new spot. And it's been about 4 or 5 years they've been waiting for this. And it was going to have a roof on it and all that stuff. Now, last year, they cleared everything away. We got excited. We would drive, because it's not far from Lance's house. We would drive across there and see if they'd done anything. So I think when we went out early when we got her, they had just kind of started they had put the footings down, because you have to put the purlins up. So that was like when I first got her about 4 weeks ago. And then when we came back, we saw they had laid metal on the side. Then when we came back a day or two later, they started putting the metal up. So finally, after a lot of work and a lot of waiting and being patient, there is a giant roof with open sides going on. It's going to be a new location. That's not the location where it is before. I'll come back to your comment, chat. So they are getting a big roof. I think the footprint is 250 by 175 or something like that. And obviously the track's not going to be that big. It's going to be a little smaller. It's going to be like 225 by 150 or 125, and have some space for pitting. It's got massive parking all around it. That's all going to be dragged and seeded. So it's going to be all grass. It's a lot of work right now, just getting the roof on, and then you got to get all the electricity run, the lights and all that stuff. Then they got to start making the process of moving the driver stand and everything from outside, getting in all new dirt. Got to build a wall around it, the whole track, so the dirt stays in, and because they want elevation. So it's a lot more left to do. But realistically, I think by the end of the year, or maybe earlier, probably earlier, I don't know. I know Lance is really trying to have a FRCC race there. But I know this is that it's in a great location. Lake City is good for many people. It's in the north of Florida. You have Jacksonville an hour away. You have Orlando 2.5, 3 hours away. It's good for people that are in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all those areas. It's a drive down, but you got a guaranteed race. All the amenities are there. They have hotels and food and everything you need, not even 5 minutes from the track. So Walmart's, everything's, and it's like in Lake City, North Florida. So it's going to be good. I see B&T is also, I saw that they're also going to get a roof as well, but they're more in the panhandle right under Alabama. So realistically, in the next year or two, you're looking at, there will be 3 covered tracks in Florida: SNS, Southside, and B&T. But it's exciting times, and kudos to Lance McDonald, because he put in a lot of work to get there and a lot of patience, and now it's being paid off. So, but still a lot of work left to do. I don't know when or how much or what, because it's nothing to do with me. I just talking to Lance, but I know it's not going to be, he's not going to open it till it's completely done properly, which is great, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. So that's great. And that's going to become really good for a lot of just everybody. I think a lot of people can travel to Lake City very easily, internationally, nationally. It's going to be awesome. Awesome stuff. And I can't wait to see it happening. All right. I will be going to conduct some interviews. So maybe I'll all right. Just go up and just give him the microphone. He'll introduce himself. He'll interview himself. And Chad Roberts says, just thinking on how to grow the sport, it seems that making the winter events on the West Coast and then move to the East Midwest for mid and end of the year, so many good racers at both, travel might be easier. Well, you also get bad weather in the West Coast. How many times has DNC been rained out when it was in February? How many times have we had rain at DNC? So, like I said, SIC wasn't supposed to be put on that date. It had its date for all these years. It's an indoor covered arena. One thing about the Southeast, their races are under roofs. There's only one race in the West Coast that's under a roof, and that's the TNR A-Man Fuels. Okay, and at Silver State. So, but it's about with Silver State, could he get the dates that he wanted and that are cost effective? And it's also the same if a lot of these venues, they're being used for other things, not just RC car racing. So you have to go with the dates. All right, I thought you was a bot, Ryan Owens, but the point of the Coffee and RC is to go over some things and just chat and connect with you guys. Christian Martinez, Lefty, my dude, it was great hanging with this weekend. Hope to see you. I know, dude. Christian built some beautiful rigs. But no problem, Ryan. I thought you wasn't a real person at first. I wish someone would open a 18 scale dirt track or 1/8 scale dirt track in mid-California, Sacramento area. Amen is awesome facility, but it's nearly 2 hours away. Do you guys have the population to have another track? That's the question. Everybody wants tracks close to them, right? But do you have enough population of RC racers to support that track? The problem is when everybody has a track close to them, all the other tracks suffer. So, because we just don't have enough people in RC to race. And no offense to the NorCal race community, but it's not as big as the SoCal race community. But I do understand having to drive far. I mean, I don't have a track. I have to fly. Literally. If I want to race off-road, I have to get on a plane and fly. So when people talk to me about distance, don't talk to me about it. If I want to go do on-road racing, I have to drive 3.5 hours. You know how much gas is in the DR? It's $5.25 a gallon. Yeah. So when people complain about not having tracks close to them, I say, you're fortunate that you only have to drive 2 hours in gas and it costs $3. Well, okay, you live in California, so it's probably $5.75. But definitely next year, rescheduling things. So it'll be good. So, but definitely it jumbled up everything. So, like I said, Silver State will be, sorry, I'm jumping along. I'm just reading Chad's comments here. He says, the weather out there can be tricky. Yeah, that's why I think moving DNC to May, because it's going to be outdoor, the weather's going to be perfect. Lefty, did you hear from Lutak? Have not seen his name in chat yet. This is, I have not seen Lutak in quite some time. And he is an avid, he's in the chat of the YouTube streams. I'm worried about him because he has not been in a chat for quite some time. We don't know his personal name. I know he's Brazilian, but I hope he's all right. And if he's there, yeah. But I don't know. So, yeah, I'm sorry, just reading some of the comments here. So good stuff. What else? All right, so I think we're going to take some time, and I don't really have much to talk about. Is there anything else that we need to talk about in PMB? Will always have all the top guys because it's a big money race, right? It's high on the list of top 25s. These pro guys know they can make a good bit of money there. So I expect to see them all. They didn't have a sign up on time. They just have that there. What's up, Will Ivy? I saw you went on to Florida to the Buggyland race. Good stuff. Exactly. Yeah, they don't sign up to the week of usually. So all good. Let's see how that poll's going. What do you guys think about Orlowski? Is he the best all-around driver at the moment? I mean, you have to throw in Bruno Coelho too, but right now Orlowski's just been racing so much, man. So I think he's ahead of Coelho right now. Obviously, he doesn't have the world championships that Coelho have, but you know what I mean when I say he's ahead. He is right now. He is running and winning on multiple surfaces. Right now, you have 72% people say that he has the best all-around racer in the world right now. So well done. Keep that. That's in our YouTube poll. Just spit on my mic. And yeah, I think he's good. I think if that dude had time to focus on 8 scale, he would be amazingly fast. Amazingly fast. What else went on? Let me see. It's not much going on. That's the problem. I mean, there is, but there isn't. So TITC took up a lot this weekend, and I don't want to go too deep into INS because I have a recap video coming out for that. So that's why. Real Live, he says, the Florida guys, the Colombians are some cool people. I have fun. Awesome. Yeah, Florida RC racing is awesome, dude. It's a good community down here. What's up, Rob Sturgill? How you doing, my friend? Good morning to you, too. Happy Monday. And let's go. We're going to open up a Q&A session here now. If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask. If you want to do a super chat and get a fully diagnosed question, got any topics you want to talk about? Let's do it. This is your time. And let's chat RC. That is brought to you by all of our sponsors that make this possible. So big shout out to High Tech RC. I see they've been pushing a lot as well. They got some cool stuff. A-Main Hobbies as well. We got a link for that in our written description. SMC. We got batteries from them. We got a link for them where you can save some money as well. So check them out. And yeah, let's get crack-a-lack in here. So questions, guys. Let's see. The O is the best roll-around driver. Bruno doesn't race all classes like he wants to do. I understand that. I would have to agree with you there, Pete. Right now, he is. Ryan Owens. Would you ever consider a more planned format or at least planned topics? I'm new here, so go easy on me. I usually do. So I did have, when my mic was messing up, I had races I was talking about that I was, I went over. Usually I would scan some topics to talk about. Sorry, I've been a little bit busy. I haven't had a chance to follow up on RC too much. So I just talk to people, ask their questions. I know what's going on generally, but yes, usually these have a structure. And then they don't, because that's just how my life is. Jerry, if I knew the answer to that, why are we in the 21st century and the early 2000s? If I knew the answer for that, maybe it's like when they say, I'm 47 right now, but I'm in my 48th year. Right? I don't know. Props on RC Race Media in Australia for some good coverage at TITC. Also, yes, Live RC will be doing the coverage of the Worlds. I will be there with Max doing NNRC content, which I am going to enjoy because I am not going to miss a Worlds in America, especially at Thornhill. So I'll be there. Max will be there. Maybe we'll bring Will over as well. And we will be doing NNRC content. I cannot wait. Top 5 predictions on Onward Worlds. Ooh. Wow. Man, it's hard not to pick Arlowski right now. Okay. Arlowski. Man, that guy Akko was fast. Coelho, Reinhardt. You know what? Hagberg. Top 5. You know who didn't have a good weekend? Our good friend, Deron Falk. Oof. Nick said, we love you, Lefty. You are I am not the greatest. I'm just great sometimes. But thank you. I appreciate the support. Oh, because 20 centuries have already happened. So we're in the 21st century. So it's kind of like I'm already in my 47th year, but going to be 48. Salvaggio says, I shall be at the Worlds as well, playing my best mechanic role. Will be great to catch up. Yes, but you and Max need to get together because you have some tangents to do. He hasn't reached out to you. I'll reach out to you or shoot me a message, Salvaggio. We got to do some JC videos together. Well, Max does. He's the you and Max in science mode. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Onward Worlds that JP was asking about. I could do top 5 and Fend will go Fend in top 5 at Worlds if he goes back to yellow wheels. Steve Campbell, how about B84 chassis braking? I saw a couple at INS. So yeah. I see people have front chassis braces formed, like a steel chassis braces as well. So I saw a couple. I have one myself, but I saw a few break. So definitely got to fix that. Or I don't know how hard are people hitting stuff. I can't say nothing because I hit things hard. So, and I don't know, but they definitely are breaking. What's up, Kevin Spanier? He says, so sick you guys got going in Florida. Not me. I'm just taking pictures. But definitely all of Lance there. Fresh Century started at 0 is the real answer. I don't know. My brain's got too much RC going on it. The 47-year-old AD. Oh my, yeah. Math is not my my forte. Counting money that I don't have is definitely not. Oh, I forgot about that. Great topic, Ryan Owens. I forgot about that. The new car. I'm going to say some good things here in a minute. Good topic. Ronald Falk had a tough TITC. Hope he picks up his results in asphalt. His carp results were a bit better. For example, ETS norm, but I'm sure he expects. Yes, Ronald Falk doesn't want to lose, but I want to say, please come back and do more 8 scale. He needs soft walls for B74s. Ryan Owens, thoughts on the new Losi? So, I don't really, I'm not that science nerd to tell you what I think is different on the car and all that type of stuff and why I think it's better and all that. I couldn't tell you that, right? So I'm not going to give you, I'm happy that that the Losi guys have a new car. In fact, I wanted one of those badges that says Mark Safe from TLR guys spamming my Facebook with their new TLR 4-wheel drive release. So I don't have much comments on that, but I do have some comments that I'm glad that it's happening. It happened, right? And I'm glad that they have a new car out there. But I will say this, and I said this already. And we was talking about this on our drive home about the amount of TLRs we've seen at races lately. So what TLR is doing is actually working, in my opinion. But to judge a car like the new 4-wheel drive car without somebody on a level of a Dakota Fen or anybody equal to that racing it, I don't know what to say. It looks good with the guys that were running it this past week at INS. I'm sure a few of them were running it. I think they've done a good team. Ben Ellis has done a good team of a good job of assembling a team there. Without a proper pro driver, Hunter King's been running a new car for quite some time as well. But really, until you have a pro driver that can go out there and test it against all the other pro drivers as well, I don't know. I know Luke Prevacek looked very good in it at INS, and he's a good driver and got lots of potential. So we'll see. And yeah, good job to Hunter King. He got the box art, and it was a big team at INS. And you know what? At SIC, there were a lot of TLRs there as well. So good stuff. It's good stuff. And I think that they're onto something. And we'll see. But it's always going to come down. And my question is, who's going to perform on that very top echelon? They don't have that. But that doesn't pay the bills, right? It's the average racer who races the car. If you are an average racer and you have that car, let us know what you think. But great topic. I thought they were going to do a 8-scale car. And then we saw X-Ray drop their new e-buggy, and Associated dropped a 128th replica of their RC10. Just going to go through some of the comments here. We have, I don't know, KP says, hello from Vancouver. Just sub to your channel. What is your favorite chassis for 4-wheel drive e-racing? Just new to all this. Are we talking about 4-wheel drive 10 scale or e-buggy? Because I'm going to tell you go for Techno because I think they're awesome. Tyrone Daytona was awesome, dude. It was awesome. Very nice. I like the quick race format. NASCARs are so cool looking, right? They're loud too. But it was some good racing. They were bumping. The second duel was probably the best race. And Man, I've never seen Lance so excited. He likes NASCAR. When Chase Elliott won, man, he ran down to the steps. He was uber excited. It was fun. It was a good day. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to Lance and his wife for taking me to NASCAR. All right, some more questions. TLR is making a comeback. Bless. Where's Jay Bless? Jeremy Pickett. Speaking, yep, he did make the box. That's good. Hunter King made the box art. What are your thoughts on the Hung Nor X5B? Well, I have not seen one in person. And you know what? I'm actually thinking that on next week's Coffee and RC, it's time to have Wally back on her. And he can talk about it and what he's got going on. So I think that's the plan. Wally, if you're listening, make no dates for next week. Monday, we're doing a Coffee and RC. And it won't be 7 hours like when JQ was on her. So we'll see. This is what I do think. I think that A-Man is putting a lot behind the Hung Nor. So I think it's going to be good now that they are involved. Yes, well, Hunter King is one of my favorite drivers to watch drive E-Truggy, to be honest. He was very aggressive in E-Truggy at SIC, and he even said so afterwards. I will touch on racecraft. Thank you for reminding me, Taylor. 10 scale full-wheel drive. Are you gonna run on carpet or are you running outdoor? Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. I just talked about the Associated maybe breaking chassis, which they have been doing. I saw them, but I think you still can't go wrong with an Associated just for parts wise and support wise, and that's probably what I would get. But the X-rays look good. The Schumachers look great. The Losies look good. Get a Losi. They have good support too and parts. Your chat highlighting is fire. I guess I'm trying to do too many things at once. Michael Malone, I should come to Motorama. I should. But that's I work in RC, dude. I don't make a lot of money. I would love to come, but if I stay here, I'll be doing the Florida RC Championships this weekend. So yeah, racecraft. Let's bring up that post, actually. We've had Chase on her quite a few times. I love Chase. I remember when racecraft first came out. Chase kind of came out and I think that racecraft and what Chase did when they came out was just, first, the product impressed me. They had the command module. I thought that was really cool. And I just thought I never got one myself. I was supposed to get one. I never got one, but it is a big product. Then they came out with the smaller ones, and I liked all the G blocks and all that stuff. And then they started doing, 3D printed wings and whatnot. But what I really liked about racecraft was Chase's advertising, right? The skits. He was funny. He bought that skate because he's a skater, right? He bought that skating, that skater type mentality and guerrilla marketing to RC, and they shook the RC world up, and I loved it. And I still love that. And he's the dude, and he's still into RC. Well, Chase's, I don't know what's going on with her, but it sounds like it's being sold or just not going to be continued, right? Because also I would say that those products, while they're nice, the command module and all that stuff, they're also heavy to ship and all that stuff. So, but I just think that Chase has got a new job. He's working a lot. He's not even at home much. He's just about doing RC. That's why we haven't seen Wheel and Trigger a lot, because of that. But he's not going anywhere. But for me, Chase was racecraft, right? And when you get a job and you do all that stuff, life comes first. I know it sucks for him, but I know it's sad. I read his thing, but I like Chase a lot, and I want the dude to continue to go. Racecraft USA might not be around no more, but the dude's gonna be here. And they supported the podcast for a long time, which I greatly appreciate. And I know how Chase is just, I like him. He's a funny dude. And anybody that can sleep on logs 3 days in a row is definitely a warrior. But I don't know. It's the RC business is very hard. And it's a grind. It's nonstop. Whatever you if you're not grinding 24/7 in RC, then you're not doing it. And that's just like the bottom line. And that goes for drivers, me, manufacturers. It's nonstop because you're so passionate about it, right? So unfortunately, Racecraft seems to be going away. Will we see another company like Racecraft? Who knows? But my value from Racecraft, for me, they had cool products, was the skits and the marketing. That's what was the beautiful part of Racecraft for me. And it was funny. It was funny. Oh, what's this guy? Pred Racer RC. It would be nice if one of the aftermarket companies would come up with a center diff conversion to change the layout of the Losi Techno to use standard valves. We are very limited in availability. Reds makes a great valve, but they often are back ordered in the States. I mean, I don't think there's any money to do that. I'm sorry. I've never put together a Techno Nitro buggy, so I don't know if they use different valves. Maybe somebody can let me know in her. But I think that time of companies, aftermarket companies doing stuff like that. I mean, One Army does it. I think that time of aftermarket companies doing all that, there ain't many aftermarket companies, to be honest, doing that type of stuff. RC Project, stuff like that. Chris Thomas, DNC around the corner. Who's the favorite to win? You know what? I'm going with Mason Fuller. There you go. One Army motor mount for Techno. There you go. Somebody does make it. Or just put a Protect clutch on it. Sorry, I have not built a Techno Nitro car, so I don't know what's the deal with that. There you go. One Army and JT make engine mounts that allow you to use standard valves on a Techno. So it's already been done. There you go. I am not a Techno driver, so I don't know. I have an e-truggy at that. There we go. Plenty of people out there. Pete says Mayfield at DNC. Hard not to pick him, right? He's won it last year. I know a few Europeans are coming. I don't know if Ronafalk's coming. I wish he would, because this is like Ronafalk. He's won 2-3 times there, 4 times. I expect Burak to do well, but I don't know, man. Mason Fuller, maybe. He won Silver State. Are we talking just Nitro buggy here? Because that's what I focus on mostly. But yeah, I could definitely wouldn't argue against Mayfield winning that one. Hard to pick. I don't know who's all going either. If you throw in some Europeans, so we'll see. Spencer will be one to get in. Possibly. Spencer's been fast at Silver State lately. Tony Schumacher says, Lutz. Oh, Mr. Rosspeed, of course. Lutz. Hey, that could happen too. If he can keep his cue in check, he's my pick. Yeah, I would agree with that. If he doesn't have any mechanicals, yes. You know what I hope for? An awesome race. Oh, man. Pete says Lutz is BQ. Maybe. Maybe not. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. When is DNC? I don't even know. DNC's in 2 weeks' time, right? Jesus. Usually I know that, dude. I'm sorry, guys. When I'm on the road, time goes by. It's just go so much. You don't have time to look at things. Plus, there's so many races, right? I'll be watching. Or will I? Yeah, I'll obviously be watching. Will it have as many Europeans as it did as it has in years past? We shall see. Pecco is going. He is going. Taylor Delissa says Mayfield, Killick, Seth, Fuller, Fee. You know what? I wouldn't be upset if Seth and Dale won this either. I wouldn't be upset if nobody won it, but I like to see somebody different in it. Except Mason Fuller, because I'm a big fan. He's just making up for all the he's making up for all the wins he should have got, in my opinion. Tyrone Tessman will crush him. I'm an idiot. I call Ty Tessman. Tyrone Tessman. Is Mod Media going to broadcast DNC? Usually it's live RC. that do it. So I guess Live RC, they did Silver State. So I assume they will do that as well. How long have you been around for ready? When do you head back? I head back Wednesday. I have been gone for a month now, but I might stay till next Monday because I really want to go to I really want to race this weekend, and I really want to go to the opener run at Triple Nickel because I haven't been to the last FRCC race I went to was in Mills, and I haven't been to a different FRCC race in quite some time. Oh, I went to Tallahassee too, but I want to go to the opener run. So we'll see. But hard not to pick Mayfield at this track. He is definitely, he won it last year. Don't count out Juan Carlos Canas either. He could do well here. And if Ronafel comes, he can always win it too. Fend, maybe. We'll see. We shall see. But Mayfield, Fuller. What about B-Rose? B-Rose needs a good win. He did not have a good SIC. Triple Nickel has taken a 180 from when I was there last. They really have turned around. Yes, they have. The Co2s and everybody that ran Sundancers have turned that track right around. I don't think that's going to happen. He says the Ginger Ninja Jackson Brunson's going to come out of nowhere and show up at DNC and win it all. I don't think so. Jeremy Pickett. Anthony Galuza chooses fee. I mean, it's time for. I think he's knocking on the door of that big Nitro win. He's won all these electric wins. The Nitro is the big winner. Wouldn't be mad if he won it either. So it's all I care about is good racing. Yeah, B-Rose. I like Brandon. I like his content that he's doing. He's a good racer. He's put in a lot of work. But he was kind of there by himself at SIC. No support from AE. Just him. And that's exactly one of the reasons he went to SIC. I mean, exactly why he went to AE was for the support, right? So, but never count out Brandon Rose. Exactly, Ty. Live RC does DNC and Silver State. So I assume they're doing it this year, which we thank them for because I'm sure they don't make money on it either. But yes, Worlds coming up. September, Thornhill. NNRC content going to come. Me and Max are going to geek out. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. Long days, long nights coming up. So we hope you tune into that. Hope you guys give us some super chats. That helps us, right? We only got we got one new member. You can become a new member as a super chat as well. Or you could gift people some members. That's the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you to Calvin Bruce and thank you to Pete for the support. Okay. Any more questions, guys? I'm here. I'm not really doing nothing, so I can hang out with you guys for a little while and we can just talk. We got 100 people, 98 people watching. Let's see. Let me go through my Facebook, see if there's anything that's happened while I have been talking to you guys. Did you guys see the music video that was filmed at what's that track called? Tom Petrella's track. That was pretty cool. Can you talk about your sponsors about discount code and the policies? Yeah, so we have, I'll let you know, right there in the written description of this show, we have affiliate links. We have, if you come over to YouTube, you can see it. We have affiliate links. We have coupon codes where you can save some money. And some don't have any coupon codes. So just go there and you can spend money and let them know you heard about it in the No Name RC podcast. But we definitely have a Get Shit Done coffee discount. We have a SMC battery discount, I think. We have a A-Main Hobbies discount. We have a Beach RC affiliate code. We do not have a discount code or affiliate link with Techno or Sidewinder or J Concepts or Set Techno or Mayako or Invisible Speed. None of that. So we only have a few. Oh, great topic. Thank you, Robert Coons. How are you? Yes. So, Lefty, NNRC merch coming? Yes, but it will be print to order. So you go on the website, you pick what you want. It's going to have all the different logos, different things. You want socks, you can have that too. And you can order it, print to order. So that will be coming out next month, hopefully. Thank you, Robert Coons. So yeah, let me bring up this for Ryan Owens. He brings up good topics for the sponsors. So I usually put them on the YouTube. So all of my links are in the YouTube because it just jumbles up on Facebook. Actually, I'm probably going to be starting to go away from just having this on Facebook and doing everything on YouTube anyway. So what's up, Goebbels? He says, no, Fend will not maybe. Come on. I don't know what he's talking about. Jimmy Cooper, don't eat the food Josie Patashal cooks. Actually, she cooks really well. She made us some good ribs the other day. It was good. Kevin Spanner, what do you think RC is missing? Do you like that more pro guys are doing clinics to help out the hobby more? Here's what RC is missing. Personality. That's what is missing. Simple. It's missing personality. It's missing rivalry. It's missing everything that makes everything else in full-scale racing exciting. So, hey, Barry Rowe, what's up? I see you, Kim. I'm going to get to your question. So that's what I think RC is missing. We do have some characters developing, which is great. Aiden Horn is one of them. But I think we're really missing out on, I want that driver who's like me. You see how much shit I talk to Danny Paz, but still lose? We need a driver like that, but to can win, right? I would not go this extreme because Andrew Dice Clay is pretty extreme, but yes, we definitely need drivers that I would love to see. So one time a person told me that we need to treat RC like wrestling and we need to be cutting like wrestling promos and all that type of stuff. That's my dream. We came close. We come close a few times. We had Aiden Horn's the closest we have, but we need more characters and we need people to get invested in it. You know what RC needs? RC needs is I've said this many times before. It needs a series like Driven. We have a series like Driven. It's the RCGP Driven docuseries, but we need a series like what Driven did for Formula One for RC, because everybody's going through her, more pros. People just don't know we race RC cars, dude. Like, we think it's big because we love this shit and it's our lives, but realistically, we're the pimple on the ass of a dog, really, on the fur when it comes to obscurity of RC racing. So, and we need to stop being, we need to be more welcoming to people when they come to tracks. Yes, we need a Cletus McFarlane or somebody like Cletus McFarlane in RC. I was hoping that Cletus would get into RC really hard, but but that's just a part of it. There's other things that need to be done. You know, like we need to get back. I think we need to get back to parking lot racing and stuff like that. I think we need to get back to just putting RC in front of people so people know what it does. It's a lot of things, but on the pro side, where I think the pros are kind of where people don't understand there's a pro class to this. We need these guys to not be so boring. It's gotten better, but we need these guys to be like, if you're mad at somebody, I want to beat that guy. You know, we need that. That's what I think. Chemo, he says, if you had to pick any 1/8 off-road to race around the world, which one would you pick and why? Ooh. There's so many good cars out there. Right now, I'm on a techno tip. But I don't know if I'd be on a techno tip if I was in Europe. But here in America, definitely techno. Over in Europe, I don't know. Mugen? Maybe S-Works? Maybe Associated. but probably as techno grows more in Europe, yes. But right now, in my travels, which is mostly in the USA, techno is probably one of the most popular 8-scale cars amongst the regular person. And that's what matters. Barry Rose says, I'm going to host a clinic on how to make woo-woos. They're nice. They're nice. Very nice. Can't drink too many of them, though. You know, you get woo-wooed up. I would also say, if we're going to have another class, I want it to be one 8-scale short course truck. Something that looks realistic. The one video that I have that has almost 30 million views on Instagram is a short course truck. And also, what the drama at SS was great. There was drama at Silver State. Did I miss it? Oh, yeah, but here's what okay, sorry. Going off on a tangent. So I remember you're talking about when Fee and Mayfield got together. Dude, oh my goodness. Do you know that Mayfield and Fee hugged it out and were like, and Mayfield was like, good pass after that? Obviously, he was mad at first, but it was a good pass. The person that should have been mad was Mason Fuller because he got railroaded. But then we freak out over that, right? We freak out over that. Like Al Horn's pass on Casey Blasek at the INS the other day. That was rough. Dude, like, have you watched Full Scale Racing? Like, they hit all the time and they go to pass. It's all good. You need to stop freaking out on that. Unless it's a blatant takeout. Now, Fee was rough, but he had to go for it. And it worked out for him. All right. Missing personality, but when that shows up, people complain. Same as Supercross. Deegan is probably the most hated rider, but I bet everyone that Deegan brings more fans. Exactly. People complain. His old partners, Jack Stan, Jimmy Son was RC Racing, Drag Racing. Oh, yeah. But you're talking about Cletus. We need Cletus to get into RC racing, not bashing. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I don't follow Cletus. I watched a bit of Cletus. I don't know who Jack Stan Jimmy is. I do apologize. But is that to drag races or RC drag? RC drag racing is not what I would have in mind to promote to the world. Sorry. Okay, so Ty's clearing up. He's into bashing. Jack Stan Jimmy is in his shop, and his son is into RC drag racing. Well, hopefully they got out of that and come into off-road. Because RC drag racing is not for everybody either. And that's kind of dying. We need bigger corporate sponsorship and TV exposure. Well, we don't even have a product for that. Tell me what race and what product you're going to do. I agree with you. Hey, Justin, how you doing, my friend? I'm looking at Ugly Betty. Hey, Frank Sell, how are you? Yeah, we need to let these guys be characters and fucking not. I mean, we're going to crucify them anyway because we're the internet, right? I haven't watched that yet. Lee Setzer had good insights into drama at Silver State on the Slowest Fast podcast. Check them out. I have not had a chance to watch that. But come on. Look, I will take out Danny Paz anytime for the win. You get that? Anytime. I would do what Fee did and worse to Danny Paz for the win. And celebrate. And I think 99.9% of us in this chat will do the same thing. 8-scale nitro buggy, 10-scale nitro buggy, and 8-scale nitro onward. We need more TV sponsors to make a World Series race. This way they pay for the drivers to race around the world. And we need more than that. We need personalities to go with that. Because if we use the same boring personalities that we have now, nobody's going to watch shit. Driven Formula One docuseries got more people into Formula One watching, because you can't go race Formula One, than anything in the last 20 years, 30 years that Formula One has done. That's my opinion. SCT looks way more fun than everyday person over watching buggy. I agree, because it looks real. You can actually bump cars with tangling wheels and flying off the track. Absolutely, unless I'm racing Danny Paz and then I'm sending him off the track. Oh my goodness. RC drag is for guys who can't offer it. I didn't say that. Maybe TLR could talk to him into racing a offer it since he's working with them on other projects. That would be great, right? I know that a lot of Cletus's guys are into RC. They're right here in Florida. It would be fucking awesome to see them come and race, right? But you know what? Cletus has got so much on that makes him actual money. RC is probably going to RC races. Probably the last thing he wants to do on his weekend off. That's just the hard truth of it. But right now, RC the way it is not a viable product for TV or streaming. Now, what Live RC's done with some of this stuff, what RCGP's done, that type of stuff. But if we're gonna have a product for streaming, it's not gonna be watching 2 days of qualifying and commentating on that. It's gonna have to be the pro guys, and that's it. And all the people out there right now are going to have to swallow that pill and understand that it's about the pro guys, because that's your best foot forward. Yes, all the other stuff can come, but it's about the pro guys, their storylines, and what they're going to do. Thank you, Justin, for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it, sir. Thank you, sir. What level of racers bring the most money into sports? Sportsmen, intermediate, or pros? Obviously, the people that pay for their stuff. But do you want to put your best? Do you want to listen? Nobody wants to see me running Sportsman e-truggy, moving out of the way of other sportsman drivers. That is not the best. That is not the foot you want to put forward. You want to put forward the best, showcasing what they do, letting people know that this is a professional series, a professional thing where people actually get paid and go into their lives. We need characters. We have Aiden Horn. Cole Ogden was a character. JQ is a character. Well, what happens when we have characters? We fucking, no. We want this. You know what the biggest problem to RC racing is? The RC racer. We're the solution and our own worst problem. Somebody said that to me many years ago, and I was like, yeah, maybe you're right. Jeff Keaton said that to me, and he's absolutely right. The RC racer is the RC racing's own worst enemy. What would be an example of making RC more like wrestling? Should we be showing up to club night in costumes and doing Ric Flair woos? Obviously not. But a Ric Flair woo would be great. Obviously, we're not doing. I mean, if you want to wear a cowboy hat and be the all-American redneck hillbilly type of guy that's going to be killing guys, beating guys out there on the track, great. Sorry, I'm not saying that people who wear cowboy hats are hillbillies and all that stuff. Nothing against that. But you need to have some personality, right? We need to let these guys be themselves. The problem is a lot of people are just introverted in RC because RC can do it on your own. You look down, you do it on your own. You focus on that. We need Cletus to host a huge race at Freedom Factory every year. Well, you got to build a track there, a drive stand, and everything that you need. But no, I'm not talking about people coming out in fancy clothes and all that stuff. I'm just talking about people having some personality. Here's another example. Why do you think I give people nicknames? Because they identify with nicknames over racers, right? We have to build storylines. We have to build things. That's why going into that's another reason why we need a series. Because going into the INS this year, I have storylines to build from last year, right? And that's going on in my brain while I'm talking about it. But we need people who are going to be vocal, be entertaining. If they don't win, they're not going to be there like, oh, my car was so dialed, it was so good. But no, we need that guy that's going to be like, and we don't need TV. We just need streaming services. We need that guy that's going to be like, man, this guy just done took me out. But don't you worry. I'm going to see him in the next race. And Karma's a bitch. And I'm coming after him. That's what we need. I agree with Chad Roberts. TV is not needed. Nobody really watches TV programs. Utilize online and push there. But we need to get the money there. Chris Thomas, put a mic on the driver's stand for sportsman and intermediate. Oh, I would do that on the pro level. RC needs more tracks, better tracks. Same reason Moto is going away in SoCal. Spread the interest out. I don't think that's a good business model. It's been shown to fail. You put more tracks, but don't have enough people to race them. That's not how it's going to work. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. I agree that we have to show people what we're doing. You can build 10 tracks, but if nobody knows, you could be 10 tracks in one area. But if nobody knows what the heck's going on or what RC racing is, nobody's going. Nobody's going. And what you do is just hurt the tracks that are on there anyway. We're putting the chicken before the egg, if that's what you believe, or we're putting the cart before the horse. We need more tracks and we get more people. How do we get more people? We use what we have. Have you watched the video with Ryan Harris? Use that format, like you said. Use pro drivers. Yeah, exactly. That type of stuff. All this. You guys keep saying this. It's been done. RCGP driven. It's been done. It's just 5 years, 6 years old. It's been done. It just didn't get no traction. The industry rejected it. But it's been done. But again, we can do it again. But you know what? That all costs money to do that. Because nobody does nothing for free. And when you do it for free, it's not worth it. Anything free in life, usually that requires lots of effort, is never going to be good. Drivers crying on the driver's stand isn't a good selling point. I've never seen a driver cry, but you can have an argument with another driver if you're not feeling. I've seen plenty of drivers in full scale throw helmets at other drivers, argue forever, get in fights. I'm not talking about guys crying on the stand. I'm talking about guys saying, "Hey, that sucked. I'm going to get you back." But then all people's going to complain about me and saying all I care about is the drama. I don't. I care about good racing. If the drama happens, then let it go. People complain when tracks are hard these days. Well, guess what? For the new person, the track needs to be easy. That's why carpet is so popular. That's why high traction tracks are popular. Because we RC nerds, we want the hardest track out there because we've been doing this for years. You just need to learn setup. Well, how about that new person that's coming out there of their fucking TLR tuned Typhon, who doesn't know anything, who can't even get around the track, can't even do a jump? They'll say, forget this. I'm going to go do something else. Remember, the first impression is always the best one. And if you can't get around the track because you don't have traction, then it sucks. Every pro racer should have a YouTube channel that shows their personality. That will help. But they have to film that, and they have to do that. These guys on the road. What should happen is these teams, these manufacturers should be doing that and encouraging those guys to do it. I like what Brandon Rose has done it, but a lot of these guys are just, they're busy. When you're on the road 3 weekends a month, think about it. You're on the road 3 weekends a month. And then you have 1 weekend off. What are you doing? Spending with your family. Remember, these guys are working on the weekends that you guys are having fun. And not everybody, it doesn't have to be a YouTube channel. It has to be a collective. It has to be one spot. It has to be involved in the racing and all stuff. I don't mind these guys. I would love these guys to have their YouTube channels. Like I said, I love B Rose's channel because he does like a day in the life and he does setup stuff and all that there. But not everybody is interested. But definitely. What's up, Matt Dixon? Countdown to the outdoor season is on in Canada. Winter blues have been real this year. Oh, yeah. Half of them don't. He says that won't help. Half of them don't even write their own race reports. I agree. It's got to be there. One thing I like to do is if I'm at a race, I like to. It happens at the 10 scale races because I'm not in the trailer. I'm usually commentating near the driver's stand. So when you be right there after they come off the drive. Well, obviously because I'm doing commentating and questions, and be right there as they come off the driver's stands to talk to them, because that's when you get the full emotions. A lot of time tracks are hard because the car isn't set up right. Yeah, but you're talking about little Bobby or little Keenan who's coming to the track with an armor. He's not going to know setup, and he's not going to learn it in that track. He wants to get on that track and get hooked. You guys are set up and all that stuff comes late. We need to get them hooked first. We need to set that weight, get them hooked, and then we can worry about setup and all that stuff. And to do that, you need easier tracks. Not all tracks need to be easier, but if I was a hobby shop and I had a track, I'd definitely make it where everybody can get around it. Do sponsors allow personality a lot more than what they used to? The sponsors do allow personality more. Also, we need transparency. If the pro drivers really use kit build, then the rest of us, it's special dremel out, custom setup. She said nothing. Well, here's the thing about that. The reason they don't tell you guys what they're running is because it might not even come into production. One thing about these guys, they're constantly testing new things to be better. They're testing things that might work and not work. So you think they're going to tell you everything that they're doing, even if it doesn't work? Why? Because then the average Joe is going to be out there, I need this and I need that, and it doesn't work for you. And another thing, their setup sheets don't work for you and me. We're not got their talent. Learn to set up your car on your own, and then you'll be all right. But we're asking a pro for a setup sheet is ridiculous. Stupidest thing you can do. Start on a box setup and go from there. Because you and I do not have the talent of any of these pro guys, and they have different demands from you and I. Now, there might be some things there that you can use, but it doesn't matter. They're going to have different bits. They're going to have different parts. They're going to be doing different things that you and I are never going to test because we don't have the skills to do that. And you know why those guys give you their setup sheets? Because they know that the setup sheets that they really run, you will never be able to drive them. So expect guys to drive an hour to a club race and they can set up a pickleball in their front yard. Yeah, what's driving an hour, dude? Some people have to fly to a different country to club race. You want tracks. I don't understand. RC guys want their track to be 30 minutes away. You drive an hour. Oh, wow. I drove fucking 18 hours the other day to go to a track. Everybody wants a track right in their backyard, but when it fails, they're like, "Oh, we tried to support it." You don't have the population to have more tracks. And the same argument can be made about gaming. Why somebody's going to travel there? See, you think people, it's about the tracks. The tracks don't attract people. It's getting RC out there that attract people. Put some real money up and drama will develop organically. Yeah, that's true. Where's the money going to come from? If we earn a listen to JQ a long time ago, he is all about this for a long time. Lefty, you, Max bought out an absolutely excellent last worlds. Yeah, we're going to be there again this year as well. I'm not, by the way, when I'm reading your comments and talking about it, I've talked about this countless times. So that's why I'm like, I know it's not going to work. I'm seeing the whole, we need more tracks. The same, it's more tracks doesn't equal more racers. More tracks equals splitting up the racers and everybody losing. You want my setup sheet? I'm going to tell you my setup sheet. Absolutely. Okay, not box stock because Patrick reversed the diffs the other day. Completely box stock. Techno. No, you didn't need my setup sheet because I suck. Yeah, but he says personality. Have you seen Aiden Horn, Ryan Mayfield? Aiden is the most personable guy in RC. Period. Mayfield has his moments. When, he tells you when he's not happy. And NTV, I'm in a meeting, so you were on mute, but I had to focus when you got this hand movements going. Team M11. Setups need to be personalized to each individual driver and their own driving style. Absolutely. The best thing you can do, instead of going out there and spending money on matching stickers and everything wrapped the same, go spend $100 on the Invisible Speed book and learn setup. And I don't know, he's putting it all on YouTube now. Go check it out. It's 600 feet and too far sometimes. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Tony. Oh, he's talking about his track. Okay. An hour is no biggie for me. 4 tracks in 1 hour, and I'm just in Ohio. Some people live in these. Some people are fortunate, right? They live in areas where there's a high population of RC people. Obviously, where there's more population, there's going to be more of a chance. But I think it all comes down to just people don't know. So I could build, let's say I built a track right here in Lance's yard. I just built a track because most of these tracks are in the middle of nowhere, you know. Then you have to compete with all the other tracks around her, including, you know, Southside and all this stuff. So why I'm very, very vocal about this, because I've seen many people who go to a track. You've probably seen it too. They go to a track and they get mad and they think they can do it better. And then they go open up a track 30 minutes away, an hour away, and they get into it and they're all hot in the ass and they're good and they're all excited and passionate about it for the first 6 months. But then when the entrants don't come, and then when they realize how much work a freaking track is, because it's a lot of work, it dies. And in that 6 months, you're killing off 2 tracks. You're killing your track, you're killing your closest track, and then you're also losing a racer because it's burning out. And he doesn't want to do RC no more. I'm seeing it happen all the time. You are hitting on a lot of good points. There are a lot of things new racers need to cross over and get into. Yeah. So I think one of the things I heard people complain about a lot, and this goes both ways, is, oh, I go to a track and everybody's so snobby and all this type of stuff. Well, look, we are RC nerds and we can be snobby. Well, I'm not, but you know, many people in RC are introverted, and that's fine. RC is their special place, and that's fine. You know, RC is for everybody. But I also say to that basher who's coming to a track, go ask questions. You're not bothering nobody. Say, hey, dude, tell me about your car. I think in general, most people in RC want to talk about their RC cars to people. So it takes 2. If you see somebody at the track and you're like, hey, that guy's a new guy, he's got an armor, don't go over there and say, your armor's a piece of shit. You need to get this $900 chassis and a $800 motor and this and this and this and that. Next thing you know, you're telling this person you got a $5,000 car. That's not going to get people in. They can get into RC for a lot less than that. So look at that. It's so much easier to drive an hour or 2 than open yourself and have to work for dirt at least. Yeah, I truly laugh when people tell me that they don't want to drive an hour to club race, because I don't have any tracks. I have one on-road track. And I get it. Driving on and all that stuff's a lot of time. I have to go 3.5 hours. It's a whole day that I'm going to waste at that. But driving an hour in America? Come on. You drive more than that to go to work, some people. So if that's the thinking, then everybody should have a track. Everybody should have a track in their yard. And then we won't need anybody to have any tracks. Hey, Lance. All right, I'll be done yapping. I'm hungry, too. Let's see. Going through some of the questions. I do apologize, everybody. And I will agree with you here, Bruce. He says some areas need tracks. But for the most part, if there's another track within an hour or 2, another isn't needed. Nashville needs a track. Memphis needs a track. Little Rock needs a track. I would agree with that. But you don't need a track just because you wanted half an hour from where you live. Not only that, do you know the cost of having a track in probably a populated area like that? Immensely. Immense. That's not going to make more people race RC. Showing people what we're doing is going to make more people race RC. And then people will build more tracks. What's up, Chris? Good to see you. How you doing? Let's see. Was up at the high school today with the oldest throwing practice track season and took a big rock and Truggy, one of the trainers' little 4-year-old son got hooked. There you go. You know what? As RC racers, we're all responsible for being RC ambassadors. I built a track 10 minutes from my house. It's amazing. Right in the Cincinnati area. It's been blown up lately, but we've put in work. Yeah. I think if you have the population to support it, yes. Right? I think it's good. But you got to remember that the people that are going to be coming to your track, yes, you will get some new people. I'm not saying that tracks don't get new people. Trust me, I'm not saying that. But I'm not thinking of 5 to 10 people. I'm thinking of we need to get thousands of people in RC. We're not thinking big enough. Jake used to tell me this all the time. You don't think big enough, Lefty. I'm not. We're all responsible to bring people into RC, right? If we bring one person, and we're all part of that, right? That's important. But we need to think bigger. And we need to look, it's many pieces to the puzzle. So. And like I said, I see many people, Lance is right. I see many people getting, I think, all right, this is going to sound kind of hypocritical. Not everybody has to have a business when they come into RC. Look, let me tell you something. I have seen many people get into RC and get into some form of business in RC and think that this business is going to be the next big thing. They're going to make all this money. They got this product. They got a track. They got whatever it is, right, that they have. And they think it's going to be the bee's knees and the dog's bollocks, as they say in the UK. And then you know what happens? They realize that there's not really a lot of money in this. Somebody else can do it faster, cheaper, and better. And there isn't a population to do that. So what happens? That person gets burnt out. In like a lion, out like a lamb. My advice to anybody that's getting into RC, please just come in and enjoy it. I can't tell you how much fun it has been to do RC again. You be like, well, Lefty, you work in RC. You should. I don't get to do it. I get to talk about it. But the last year and a bit, I've been fortunate to be able to get racing again. At first, I started like in 2024, and I was like, oh, this was fun. 2025, I raced a few times, and now I've raced already. But it's fun. It's like a hobby to me. Yes, the talking about racing is my passion and my hobby, and racing is my passion. But to actually do RC is like the hobby side of things. And I think that's how it is. You just gotta not everybody, you're not gonna make money in RC, or you're not gonna come up with unless you come up with something incredibly different, but just enjoy doing RC. The fellowship part, being out there to track with your friends, wrenching with your buddies to 1 o'clock, getting up at 6 to do it all over again. When I got working in the industry, I got away from all of that. Now I remember how it feels to be like that. So I said a few times to Brent about making flyers to hand out to schools and birthday parties, and then beach was up. Yeah. Well, Brent used to do he used to do the flyers that went out to the hotels. Right? And so he used to get people coming in from the hotels. That was good too. JPC, the closest two RC tracks to me are about 45 minutes to an hour from me, and they both are very opposite directions of each other as well. I'm super happy that we even have running tracks. We had 5 tracks in the DR at one point. We have none. RC died twice. Lefty, locally, Illinois, Indiana, we are seeing a bit of a 10-scale loose dirt outdoor revival. Are you seeing this nationally in the EU? Great question, Cody. So here in Florida, they do outdoor race, not as popular. They have Newberry, Coral Springs, but that's what the ONS is about, right? The ONS is about, you say you want to race outdoors. Well, let's go. We have gotten away from racing outdoors because it's easier to race indoors, right? And obviously, when you live in the North, Midwest, it's snowing, it's bad, rather you have to race indoors, right? I like to see it, but we need people to support things like the ONS, right? I understand that most of the races, all the races on the East Coast this year But in order for them to have races, not in the East Coast, and then the following year, this year has to be successful, right? So definitely is good to see. In Europe, I don't think outdoor 10 scale is that. In England, yes. I don't know about sorry guys. I don't know about they still do race outdoor, but mostly like AstroTurf covered outdoor. Does that make sense? Bill Hunt, more coverage of the tracks we have. Yeah, but coverage done right takes time, effort, and manpower. This is a great topic, by the way. Great topic. I built the track because someone was a dick to my child, told him to get off the track so he could practice for the race coming up. Attitudes are huge at tracks. I am no means perfect, and I want it to be better. I agree with you. It comes back to what I said. RC racers are their own worst enemies. Truly, we are. Don't be a dick to people. I mean, it happens sometimes, but not to a new person. If I'm a new guy, I come to the track and you say something, I'm not coming back there. Tenska Outdoor is picking up pace. What's up, Bryson? It was good to hang out with you. Jeremy Pickett. Phil Hurd is the perfect place for the first ONS. I agree with you, because that was Phil Hurd was known for, outdoor worlds and nationals and all that stuff. So I think I'm coming. I'm not sure if I'm going to be there, but it sounds like I might be. People, well, you know what? We need you guys to sign up. If you're excited, if you're coming to the first ONS, sign up. I know Chris Hackinson's going to be there, and he lives in freaking Illinois. So, yeah, it's going to be good. Let's see. I went over some questions here. Wolf RC. One thing I've noticed is that I never see advertising at all for local tracks at hobby shops. I never see public advertising hardly at all for RC racing reading. Agreed. Because people, you know why? Because I think people are too busy working on the tracks. You know what would be good to see? And I'll give Trackside this. Trackside is a for business facility, but it's run like a club. And what we've gone away from a lot in the USA is not the club aspect of things. And there's some tracks that are like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are. But yeah, we need more tracks to be like a club, because it's all on one person. It gets old and they get burnt out really fast. But then again, if you're doing it as a hobby shop, it depends. Trackside's unique because I understand. And also they're only open for what? Just the winter season, and then summertime they close. So they go. Then one thing about them people up in the Midwest, up in the North, when it's summertime, they're 8-scale racing. They don't waste no time. Bombshell racing. We will be at ONS. Can't wait. Sweet. It's gonna be awesome. Kevin Spanner. We were new to the hobby. I only had a crawler. He was driving a Slash and only 4. Thankfully, I used it to create something positive. Now we have an amazing facility, thanks to our parks department being on board. Now, if you can build a track in a park with lots of people going around, go for it. But if you're going to build another track that's in the middle of nowhere where nobody sees it, it's not going to do nothing. Not unless you work hard. But winning a track just because you don't feel like driving an hour, well, buddy, I have to get on a bloody plane and fly to race. Team 1RC, Lex says, I am tempted to go to ONS and adrenaline, but I've only got so much vacation time. That's the problem. Vacation time. Vacation time. We must, in order to play hard, you must work hard, right? Unless you, and then you work in the industry, you're still working hard. There we go. Idlewild Raceway, 10 minutes from CVG. Come out this year if you're watching. You used to live in Florida too, Kevin? So I'm not, because you mentioned Triple Nickel. There you go. Jamie says trackside is like a gang. We travel in a pack. I don't know any track that has that kind of. I would agree, because trackside as a gang comes down to PNB and a gaggle like 30 plus guys who all feed me very good. They always have good food too. Very good food. Chris Thomas, we need to improve the race experience. Race promoters are getting a little greedy with this no cap mindset at races. How do we pay for it? It's easy to say that, but we have to pay for it, right? So while I fundamentally agree that cap is the best way to do things, don't get me wrong, it's the best way to do that. Not every race can be that. And I'll give you an example. Let's use AMS. I don't know all the numbers, but Dave has told me this before. In order for a race like AMS to happen, which is a capped race, SIC, PNB, and Wicked Weekend all have to be big uncapped races to make that happen. Also, one of the big things that you understand with a cap race is I'm all for the cap race if the racer's willing to pay more for their entry, right? So if you're gonna have a capped race, your entry fee can't be $100. Do you know that the Neo race back in the day was capped? And I think it had 175 entry. You can only run nitro buggy, and they had a 60 entry class of e-buggy. Do you know how much the Neo buggy race was? $175 to $200 for an entry. But you just had one entry. That's when it becomes viable. Now, if we could get our head around the fact that we're going to pay for more, we're paying more for more runtime and a better experience, then we're cool. But I remember when AMS was announced that it's going to go capped and entry fees. Well, I think entry fees should be $150 right across the board for AMS. Right across the board. But racers have to understand, if you want that experience, you have to pay more for it. So let's see. Ryan Owens bringing up some good points. LA County has what? One track, biggest county in the States. You're talking, like I said, build a track in the middle of nowhere. Kind of disrespectful. If I'm being honest. Well, if you're feeling like you're being disrespected, I mean, you can always leave. But how expensive is LA County? Right? So we've seen OCRC come and go. One of the best tracks there's ever been. Where is it now? Gone. You're not being realistic. How expensive it is to put a track there and be profitable. Because it has to be profitable, right? But you can drive 2 hours. I don't know. You know, I get it. Driving 2 hours out to fucking Paris sucks. Mike Bing, you missed me pissing off somebody. Ryan Owens. Kind of disrespectful, if I'm being honest. This guy is getting offended at everything. But he wants to track an hour away from him. Don't you have like Revelation? I don't think anything's an hour away in LA because of traffic. So, I mean, if you want to track there, go find out what it takes to build one. How much it costs to have it in a building or whatever, or to find a plot of land and build a track there so you can do it. I mean, if it was feasible and it was possible, there'd still be, right? So, it's hard to do it, man. Shit's expensive. And RC doesn't make that much money. The FORC crew travels well, probably taking 50 to 60 entries to GS Hobbies for stock nets, regional races over national. Everyone going to be at March Madness. See, that's good. That's awesome. Nick Sad, I started racing last season and have nothing but great help from locals at the track. To be honest, if it wasn't for them telling me what tires, what shock, and diff oil, I wouldn't even be as near as fast as them. I am. Exactly. You, as the wanting to be racing guy, has to also be willing to go ask. Don't expect people to just come up and kiss your ass and talk to you. It's a ton of work. I mean, if there was such a great big population of RC racers in the LA County, OCRC would still be open. Then that was a great place. I mean, you have SDRC and yeah. I mean, I would. You think I want to fly into LAX and drive 3 hours to Beaumont? No, but that's just kind of what it has to do. You can forget about LA County unless it's in a park. Well, that would be cool too if they could do it. That would be great, but you got to get them to do it. You got to show there's interest. Shit, they're trying to take. They try to take Thunder Alley, and that's out in the middle of nowhere. Rev is the class. That's why everybody goes to Revelation. Revelation is 45 minutes from LA without traffic. I'm sorry, I don't know the geography of stuff, but I know anything in California and Los Angeles is going to be freaking expensive. Didn't OCRC lose the building to a church or something? Nah, that's what I heard, but I think the church can pay more money because I'm sure if OCRC could have paid the money, it'd still be there. I wouldn't even want to know what the rent is like at OCRC. There are special places like Hobby Action. Hobby Action is in a busy place, in a community, in a city community there, and gets a lot of foot action. But it ain't cheap, and he has a big overhead over him. Big overhead. And when I say overhead, I'm not talking about in $4,000 or $5,000. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars. But that's not feasible. But what LA County could have? You know what LA could have? Semi-permanent tracks. Roll out that carpet, roll out the AstroTurf, race, pack it all up and go. That's the future. Time to glue some tires for the race this weekend. Always enjoy what you guys do. Thank you. And have a good one, buddy. Keep up the good work. Mark Souza, this is 2.5 hours. This is light work. If JQ wasn't here, I'll be prepared to go for 8 hours. I'm going to be wrapping it up here soon because I'm going to go get some food. I'm hungry. But yeah. I just find it funny when Lefty flying to Ontario, it's a lot closer. Yeah, I understand that. I do. But the problem is when you add those little airports on like Ontario and all that stuff, tickets go up. And then you have to do all these stupid connections. For me anyway. So it's easy to fly into LAX and just drive up. When I did go. But I have picked people up from Colorado. Ontario. It is very close. But I'm just saying, I'm not picking on the guy Ryan. I'm just saying I heard that a lot from people. And I think people just want tracks that are he basically said, I don't want to drive an hour away. So he wants a track 15 minutes away. And guess what? If people can freaking pay pickleball in their front yard, great, good on them. They weren't going to RC race anyway. Jimmy, so I like the rubber gym match track in the UK. You can still run slicks. I never ran on that. I ran on AstroTurf mostly and carpet. What's Mark Souza? All right, I'll talk to you in a bit there. Mark, I just got your messages. More people need to work with local parks departments and have tracks in public spaces. I would definitely be 100% on with that. But that would have to be done by clubs. You still have to make some money because you still have to pay for things. But definitely, if they could do that in LA, awesome. But track for business, I think it's the Masters in UK. The only place I know that they do that isn't that Walksop or something? They have like a cork matting. I'm sorry. Chad, I'm always usually commenting. When I did come from California, I was coming internationally. It was just easier to fly into LAX. Cheap tickets were cheaper. If I'm already in the States, then flying to Ontario is probably easier. Absolutely. I drive an hour and 29 minutes to race at trackside, 34 minutes to race at carpet. There you go. Chad Roberts, how's the back going with you and JQ of how long he's going to last in the comeback? Asking for a friend. I don't know, but I know JQ was at TITC for 2 weeks. I don't think he's going to DNC, from what I heard. So he'll probably be back on it. I haven't spoken to him much, but I don't think he's going to DNC from what I heard. Rug burners is a blast. I love carpet racing. But here's something for you, Ryan. Semi-permanent track. You can do this. You can do this. You can go to a school or a church hall, get yourself some carpet, get yourself a portable staging to make yourself a driver stand. I've seen this because I've seen it happen in the UK. I've literally went to a club race where we set up the hill track it was a veterinarian college. They rent out they get to store everything. They rent everything there. It's out of the way. Rolled out 3 rows of AstroTurf, laid down lanes with fire hose to fill with sand, taped it on. Jumps that are made out of 1/4 inch ply. Obviously, you can't walk on them. They're taped on. A driver stand is built. The whole club builds it. You have a track in an hour. Different track every time. JQ's comeback. You'll see. I think that when JQ is fully focused and doing cool things in RC and not fighting with people on the internet, he can do great things. And I've said that to him many times. Ryan, I like that. My closest track is just on the ROA. I help run that track when I'm lucky to have Spokane, HRCR, both within 45 minutes. 2 of those, 3 are club volunteer operated. Yeah. Ryan Owens, RC needs a pro-only series. Agree with you. 100%. 100% agree with you. Or we use existing races. All right, so here's the bottom line. I think the only race promoter that can do a series right now is Race Time. In 8 scale. He has 4 races, could be 5 if Southern Nats. He gets all the pro guys. Okay, we didn't get them at SIC this year. But I would be all for a pro-only series to jumpstart this. And that means full tech. But the problem is that then you need to focus on the pro guys, right? So when I say focus, the coverage, everything has to be focused around that. So you have to find money for that. And right now, most of these races are being crowd-funded to an extent from the racers and the viewers. So you kind of have to show you have to show that, right? But fundamentally, I agree with you. We need to focus on the pro guys, right? And make content around that and make a product around that and a pro-only series. And then we can move on later on to the intermediate series, the this and that and all that stuff. But right now, it has to start in the pro class. Well done, Ryan. You get it. That's awesome. I 100% agree with you. Jimmy says 1 hour and 40 minutes to Coyote. Richfield Racing in Pennsylvania is semi-permanent inside. Yep. That's another good one. They're Lex. Billy Nolan just says RCGP. I don't really want to keep saying that because then people just think I'm just saying that. But RCGP was the first and only really pro series. Unfortunately, the second year didn't have all the pros, but you get what I'm saying. They had the right idea. RC wasn't ready for it. But RC wasn't ready for it. No, it's getting a little different. I will pay $175 to $200 an entry for 3 rounds of 10-minute qualifiers and a 30-minute main. Wow, at freaking AMS, you don't get 10-minute qualifiers. You get 3 5-minute qualifiers. You get practice sessions. You got a 10-minute LCQ, not LCQ race, a 10-minute qualifying race. All lower finals are double A final 10 minutes. And then all lower nitro finals are all 30 minutes in length, and all A finals are 45 minutes in length. It's long. In a pro class, would you throw 10 scale and 8 scale together to make a little bit bigger? No, don't have to. we have a 10 scale series already. It's called the INS, where all the pros go to. We needed an 8 scale. So we don't need to throw it together. I would separate it. We have that already. Indoor national series and outdoor national series if we can get it to grow. And and AMS, they have triple A finals for all A finals too. So it's long. It is long. But yeah, we wouldn't have to combine them because we have a 10 scale series. And there's some guys that don't race 10 scale, that don't race 8 scale, that only race 8 scale. Like Brock, he's a good 8 scale driver, but doesn't race it. Even Aiden, he doesn't race 8 scale as much, and he's a damn good 8 scale driver. No 40 plus. So you couldn't, I agree with you. You couldn't do a separate. If you're going to do that, you can't do 40 plus in the pro group. I think it's unfair. But you can have a 40 plus series. But I think if you have to start with the pro class first. And then if that goes well, because here's the issue. You have to also do freaking tech and all that stuff for everybody. And the intermediate and sportsman classes of some of these races are huge. Huge. I think, you know what would be cool? If we did parking lot off-road racing. Like just went out there, set up jumps. I know it's asphalt, but like just run slashes like you see on TV in Australia where they race the trucks on road with jumps. That stuff looks sick. I like it. Both nitro and both electric. That's what you meant. Okay. I think we start off with nitro because that's the most popular. That's the most popular class, I think. So we start off with nitro. But yeah, I would say we do all 3 classes, right? Nitro buggy, nitro truggy, and well, eventually it's gonna be e-truggy. Yeah, I'm cool with that. We can do all of them, but we start with I think we need to start with nitro. Do it, see how it works, and then we go on from there. And that's what you said. This is the Pro Series is cool, but entry fees are what pays the bills. Unfortunately, they have to cap them. Otherwise, you get a problem that happened at TNR. People will get pissed how they manage it. Well, as I said earlier, TNR's had that issue every race they go to. So unfortunate. Hey, Mike Driscoll, are you coming B2? I have no idea what you're talking about, my friend. Senflow RC. We used to run Tamiya TEA 2 trucks with aluminum ramps for jumps on asphalt 25 years ago. What's the TA02 trucks? Are those the Euro trucks? Mike Driscoll, are you coming to Neoland? If not, why not? Well, I'm not coming to Neoland because I'll be at PNB the same weekend. But if Neoland happens next year and it doesn't clash with a race that I'm already going to, then definitely I will be coming. Because that is a race. Well, I want to see how this race goes first. Old touring car chassis with 50 shocks. Awesome. But I think that would be cool. Racing slashes out there, taking jumps and all that stuff. Make lower classes invitational. Yeah, we can do that. But I think to start off a series, we start on the pro class. Because that's who we're following. Trust me. I know all about doing this. So the slowest fast RC. Doing a series, even virtually, is not easy. Not at all. Why do you think we're not doing the NNRC series no more? Because it takes time. It takes money. You guys are like, what do you mean it takes money? Well, somebody has to make the graphics and all that stuff. Somebody has to write up the reports. Somebody has to do all that stuff. That takes time and money. So Mike Driscoll says, boo. Hey, man. I don't know. I saw that Miguel said if you want to press, I think he's going to charge to be press there. So I'm not big. I don't like that. But I'm PNB. PNB is the race I go to. I've done it every 4 years, and it's on the same weekend. Trust me, And if I wasn't going PNB, I'd probably be going to China for the touring car worlds if I had to go somewhere, to be honest. Pat was like, you need to come to the touring car worlds. I was like, I would love to, but it's the same weekend as PNB. A National Traverse Series would be cool, but expensive, and there are limited weekends left that already have events. What is your thoughts on someone having a series champ? I think we have to use the existing races that are aligned because we just don't have space. And we need to use. That's what I just said. I said the only 8-scale race promoter who could do a series right now is Race Time. At the end of the year, maybe a serious points track somehow included. I did all of that. Isaiah. I did all of that. I've done it 2 years in a row. Slow as Fast podcast is doing it as well. Did that. Work, time, money. My NNRC series had SIC, PNB, DNC, Silver State, Nationals, Wicked Weekend, and AMS. Time, money. I had to pay Danny to do the graphics. Well, Elite RC sponsored it, and they did it for free. But if I had to pay somebody to do that, that would have been money right there because I can't do all that shit. Make the pros pay higher interest and have that money go to payouts. Build it. Every other, well, I mean, they're getting paid already at these races, right? They're already getting paid. That's why you don't need to pay them out. They're already, I would say, have a payout for the finals champion, but you bet your boots that every time these guys step on the track, they're racing for money, unless they're just going to some race where it's just them. So they're always racing for money. Anybody see the cool carpet trick in the velodrome? I did not. Send me a link for that. In Belgium, I think it's called Belgium Buggy Days. Oh, no. I have not seen that. You got to send me a link for that. Can't go to bigger races without enough points from local races or last year's standings. Not sure what you're talking about there, Chad. I would make a pro series with a crazy entry fee for 300 plus for all classes. The issue with the making a pro series class is there's just no fucking dates, man. There's no dates. There's too much races as it is. There's no dates. Trust me. I know this. But we do have races that exist. We just need to apply some creativity. We also need the manufacturers and the race promoters on board as well, because it takes more than just one person to do it. You need everybody involved. You need the drivers involved. They need to be into it. All that stuff. I know this because I've done it. I have done it, my friends. Slow as Fast will tell you about it. It's a lot of work. But then you don't get I think what happened with the NNRC is just don't get the traction. These guys don't care. I didn't have no money to give to them. I would like to see a pot. Maybe winner gets, maybe there's some monies at the end, and then that person gets it. Or it's split up between the top 5 in the pro class. So, and it comes down to a lot of this is manpower, man. You got to understand that a lot of these events, I used to be, you guys heard me now. I don't really criticize a lot of races no more, but I used to be one of the biggest critics of races till I actually started working with them and seeing the business of race promotion. And a lot of people complain about these big races and stuff, but I'll be honest with you, these big races produce a lot of funding and a lot of money for companies, whether it be hobby shops, whether it be manufacturers, and then right down to the vendors that are at these tracks. It's a business, right? And it just that's not going to work either, Mark Bromley Reed. I'm going to come back to that. So I don't criticize because you know why? These race promoters, look, one thing I've learned in RC is that we as racers seem to get mad when somebody starts making a little bit of money. I've experienced it myself. And trust me, I'm not making no money. I'm making a little bit better to live a little bit better now. I got a little free product here and now and then. I appreciate of it to make more content out of it and enjoy RC, and I appreciate that. But the issue is to do things right, it costs money. And I know always people are like, you just come down to money, because that's what it takes to do it. You need manpower, you need this, you need that. So it comes on to if we had a series, we would need an outside sponsor. Now, this is another thing. Mark says, and when these big races are going on, someone needs to call the local news and let them know. But to be honest, our racing isn't catered to the average person coming in and watching it. We don't need that. We have streaming. It will keep people from moving to pro at races like Fallbrook and North Georgia. And that's the other thing. For what? So when I did my series the last time, I wanted to do intermediate and sportsman. I should have just done pro. I came to the problem like a race, for instance, we'll use Fallbrook. Fallbrook was a part of that. Now, Fallbrook is a big race, but does not get the pro level that all the other races get, right? So it wasn't on the pro level race. But what you do have is people that run intermediate bumping up to pro. Or one of the reasons I did stop is because people would stay in intermediate and not go up to pro. Now, at a race time event or a DNC event, they will be intermediate drivers. They're not pro drivers. But at this type of race, they didn't. So I stopped it. I stopped it. That's another reason I want to do it. And then you want to be fair and put those races on there, but you can't because the level of competition in the pro class is not the same. That's where, to be fair, if you really look at it, in order to do a series, it has to start from the pro series. Because that dictates the level of competition almost to all of these races. Oh, I understand. And I think as your topic, Mark, about getting the news there, I absolutely agree with you. I think we should be doing more promotion, period, and try to get people to watch these races. And then maybe we can cater these races to people. I would say having a big screen so people can watch it. I've been to a few sporting events now, and I find myself watching the screen till I can see it live, right? But then we also need to have a race caller that's also commentating to the new spectator. And I'll even go as far as we need to go on radio and also, it's a lot of work. We have to treat it big at first. It always reminds me of a talk I have with Rick McCreary. You can find that in an audio-only YouTube, and he talks about when they put on the Manufacturers Cup and how much work they had to do. So we need all of that. All these ideas seem to be from guys who go to work and collect a check. Nobody thinks of the boss owner who has to find that money to pay them. Agreed. Chad, crossing promotion. I am a professional shooter and I love RC. My friends are now seeing RC through my channels, shooting and vice versa. Perfect. Exactly. That's a perfect example. We're really online is there. And that's great. I hope you got freaking shit ton of people into RC because we need it. We need to make a product. I would love to see there's only been one race that I've seen that's had real spectators, non-RC spectators, and that's the Manufacturers Cup 2008. Let me pull it up here because I always talk about it. Let me see if I can pull it up. But if you really want to know more about that, you can go listen to my show with Rick McCreary. And he talks about all the work that they had to do that. And then you don't make any money, right? So here's the thing. These race promoters have to make money for this to keep on going. If it doesn't make money, then there's not going to be any races. And we're going to have none of this. Now, you would say, well, another race would come up. But, yeah. First and foremost, for these races to happen, they have to make money. Nobody's going to go out there just to break even. I find it funny that people like racers don't think that you should make money in RC. I'm like, yes, you should. Because companies need to not only survive, they need to thrive. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to bring up a good video that shows the amount of people that were at this race. Now, do remember this was in 2008. Things are way different than it was. This wasn't no, I think they might have had live RC there. I'm not sure, but you get what I'm saying. It's not the best quality video. It's like 480p, but I just want you guys to see the amount of people in the stands, and these aren't RC people. They're they are they're whatchamacallit, just regular people coming to race. So if this is Truggy, when Truggy's had, I like that pit time thing. That was cool. This is a separate video. This isn't live RC coverage, I don't think. But as you see, and I think the winner of this class got a sponsorship. But see all those people in the stands? Those are spectators. Those guys worked their butts off to get their spectators into their seats. They went on the radio. They gave away tickets. Obviously, they didn't charge people, all that stuff. But you get what I'm saying. They put in a lot of work to do that. And they also had a race director that was talking to the drivers, but they had a MC who was also simplifying the RC action. Does that make sense? Explaining to people what was going on here. So, but this just isn't sustainable, right? It isn't sustainable. But that's cool. And I'd love to see that happen again. But I don't know how that's going to happen. But check it out. 2008 Manufacturers Cup. If you want to hear more about that, Rick McCreary talks about it. And there you go. When I start doing stuff with RC, the shooting world will see that. And that's a lot of people. Exactly. The shooting world is, if we could get, all right, here's a question. How many people do you think are into shooting? Give me a number or an estimate. There, Chad. Because I wanna see something. We got 74 people. I guess people are getting bored of me. I'm gonna be closing up her in the next few minutes anyway. Because I need to go get some dinner. And sorry, just reading some messages. What was the question? I don't know. I'm lost. A lot of people went to shooting, but not a lot of people who like other people knowing about it. No. I'm asking like how many people are watching YouTube. You know what? Let me go do some research real quick. Hold on. While I'm here. What's the best shooting channel out there? Give me the best one out there. You guys into shooting? Because Chad said he's a shooter, and I just want to know how many people are generally watching this stuff. I just need to know how many people are some YouTube. It's like fishing, right? Fishing's huge. Like people are making their YouTube channels are big. Look at all the bass, the outdoor stuff. I did talk about Suck at RC. I did talk about SIC briefly. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't much to talk about. The intermediate races, I just went over some of the results. The intermediate races were good, and I just kind of forgot about it. You know, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so I just ran over. All right, let me look up Garen Thumb. And I want to see how many. He has 4.5 million subs. Holy shit. That's insane. Honest Outlaw. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at these numbers. He has 1.6 million subs. Nobody in RC racing has those numbers. Nobody. You know who has them? RC Sparks and Kevin Talbot. Well, you can also buy guns at Walmart too. I don't know if those are the right guns. I'm just saying. Guns are popular in America. I guess they're popular around the world, but they're shooting, right? And they have shooting competitions. But my thing is, back to that. Chad said he's putting, he's doing RC stuff and his shooting people will see it. If we could get 10% of that dude, Grande, whatever his name, Grant, whatever, if we could get 10% of those numbers into RC racing would be way better. It would be packed with people. Happy Monday, Flint Nash. What's up, Dana? How you doing? That's why we say we need Cletus in there. Like, imagine if Cletus took RC racing seriously. Wow, it'd be awesome. Shooting sports is way bigger. Archery is way bigger. RC's small, dude. So small. It hurts me how small it is. Because if it was bigger, I think we'd all be in a better place. All the manufacturers, people like me, all that stuff. No, actually, Kevin Talbot and RC Sparks both have 3 million plus subs. Kevin Talbot, if he got into racing hardcore, would make a difference in racing. Trust me. But Chad is onto something. He's gonna, Chad, send me a link to your YouTube channel. If people are watching his YouTube channel, let's say he has 50,000 subs and he does some RC stuff, you bet your boots, maybe 50 to 100 people are going to get into RC from that. And that's what we need. That's what we need. Also, we need it all. We need it all, to be honest. And I'm sorry. I think you could go, I don't know how the rules are in America, but I think you could just go shoot out in your yard. I mean, obviously you don't want to shoot if you're in a very populated area. Sorry, I don't know much about pew-pews and shooting and all that stuff. I think it's cool. I watched some of the clips and all that stuff with people doing the tactical shooting. I think that stuff's awesome. I know a few guys that are into that stuff. But coming from Bermuda where we don't have pew-pews and never grew up with them, I don't have the... I think they're cool. Like, I want to go shoot some guns now, but you get what I'm saying. Even though the numbers are big, especially in sporting clays, which is what I'm a professional, you'll still be dealing with which is, yeah, but we don't need it on TV. We need it on streaming services. More velodrome tracks. What do you mean by velodrome? Sorry, Jimmy. Can you explain that to me a little bit better? Oh, I forgot to say. Congratulations to Ryan Stiles Harris on winning his RC Chili Bowl. I have not watched his documentary yet. I started to, but I just haven't got time to sit down and watch it. Screw Cleats, you all realize he's racing NASCAR, right? We need to tell the losers in RC to get out of the way. You know what? NASCAR needs Cletus. For the same reasons that RC needs him. That's my thoughts on that. How about that one? NASCAR needs Cletus. He does not need NASCAR. But I am all with you on that, Chad. Actually, send me the link to your channel if I haven't subbed already. But yes, anything. 35,000 members compete, and we need more of the 14 million participating. Just like RC, as many are into it, but don't participate in the racing side of things. Yep. That's so one of my goals here. So, okay, well, we might as well, I'm going to do a little bit of reflection, and then I'm going to hang up here because it's 3:00. I got ready. I'm going to go out and get some, definitely we'll talk online, Chad. Shoot me a message. I'm very interested. I'd actually like to try some of this stuff, to be honest. we had 65K people watching his stream. Guarantee it made a lot more people watch on it. Absolutely. You're talking about Cletus. So here's my plan. So a lot of you guys have seen me doing crawling, seen this Lefty's RC life thing. So racing is my passion, will always be my passion. It's what I love. It's what I wake up in the morning thinking about. But I too realize that in order for this channel to be successful, I have to take Lefty, which is me. I'm calling myself Lefty McFarlane. I'm not Cletus McFarlane yet, but I'm going to be him. I'm going to be the RC version of Cletus McFarlane. Be Lefty. Why do you think I'm doing the bashing stuff? Why do you think I want to do the bashing stuff and the crawling stuff and all that stuff? Because I realize that the big numbers are in that side. We look at the Mark Santamarias. We look at the Kevin Talbots, the RC Sparks, all these guys, other guys, big YouTubers. They have big numbers. The only person that really does RC racing seriously, okay, Kevin Talbot touches on racing, is MSN when he has time. Because I love what Mark's doing. He came up with a good plan. He said, I want to get bashers into racing. Now, I know Mark's more into bashing now and doing mini Z stuff. He's got Area 50C, and I love all that stuff that he's doing. I love Mark. He's awesome. But I want to do that myself. I want to enjoy things. Like me and Danny's battle the other day. So you're going to see videos coming out on the NNRC channel that are not racing, right? You're going to see, I did a toy hunt with Josie the other day, and I videoed that. Is racing? Is it RC? No, but I'm there because of RC. So it's going to be vlogs, having fun with my kids, doing things like that, unboxing, stuff like that. And I need you guys to support that, right? I really do. And what I want is the bashers to support that. And then hopefully the bashers see this stuff, us talking RC, geeking out on that, getting to know more people. Hey, wow. And then we as racers have to be more accommodating. When we see that, like I said before, you see that guy coming there with that Armor 6S Creighton, let him race. Teach him this. Hey, say, hey, look, you can drive pretty good. Why don't you try my car? Try this. So that's my goal, right? And you're going to see a lot of that type of content. Why? I want to do RC with my kids. I want to do RC because I need to enjoy it again. And I just freaking love anything that's RC related. Even on-road. I'm going to be doing on-road nitro racing here shortly. So when you guys see this type of stuff, you don't even, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But just click on it. Like it. If you think it's cool, but I need to support, because the only way that the NNRC will be successful is if Lefty's RC life is successful. You see how it goes? The bashing stuff is going to have to really transform and pay for the racing side of things at some point. So when you see that type of stuff, just know that I am still the hardcore Lefty, freaking loving RC racing with all my heart. But the bashing side and the crawling side, that's my hobby side. And that's the side that's going to get people into the NNRC and into racing. I implore all these guys. Like I said, Kevin Talbot, if he got into racing, to make a big difference. MSN, I love that he does racing, right? And all that stuff. Because people will see it. And they get over there. And then it's up to you guys to be good ambassadors at the track for these guys. All right? Don't be a dickhead like me. No, I'm a... But I truly, if you see that coming from me, it's because I'm enjoying RC again, and I want to bring you guys and other people along for the journey, right? And yeah, this guy just compared himself to Cletus, but put this guy in a psych ward. Well, I said I want to be the Cletus McFarlane of RC. But I can see that you just want to troll this weekend. Don't get offended when I troll you back, but definitely put me in a psych ward. I want you to come on as a guest with me on the Dead Pair podcast. I think it will help both our podcasts plus good. Awesome. Because you know why? I would love to go over there and learn more about your world. Right? And I would love to tell more people about my world that we share in common. Absolutely. I'll be down for that. Let's do it. But I'm going to go to the psych ward. This is the comment. I need to screenshot this because that is the best comment ever. Ryan Owens, you have made the best comments. You made a couple of smart ones, and then you make some dumb ones. So, but we got that one. I said I would like to be like Cletus McFarland in RC. It's a difference because I know what he's doing, and I think it's awesome. We already have a squirrel in our crew. His name Patrick. But absolutely, Chad, hit me up. Probably best to hit me up on Facebook. Ryan Owens, thank you for making the chat entertaining. And I'm sure many people think I need to be in a psych ward, but I think bigger. I want my channel to be the Cletus McFarland. Thank you, Suck at it, RC. But this guy doesn't know who I am, Ryan Owens, obviously. And I'm not nobody, but I have personality. And I talk shit to you even when I lose. But I like what Cletus is doing. And I want to make that type of content but RC. Does that make sense? Just having fun, whatever it takes. Perry won. I didn't say I'm a big follower of Cletus. I just know he's popular. But anyway, thank you. You have made the chat very interesting, my friend. Hit me up anytime. Because I like your idea of the structure. If you want to structure this better, you can make the notes for me. Because I hate making notes. I've raced over 20 years in the 80s or 90s and early 2000s. I went back with my kid a few years ago, and there were so many rude attitudes we just gave up. Well, you know what I'll say to you, Perry? I think you're going to find rude attitudes in whatever you do, not just RC racing. So I would implore you, for you and your son, to come back and race. Thank you, Justin. We greatly appreciate you. He said, just for having to deal with Ryan Owens. Oh, my goodness. And Ryan sent me some hearts. Thank you, Ryan. Pecco is probably on his way back from Thailand. He was there for 2 weeks. Suck at it, RC. Cletus could bring NASCAR back. I 100% agree with you. I just talked to Ryan Lutz at TNR, and I'm taking him shooting this summer in Ohio, and I'm out there for the state. Awesome. I don't know if I could be able to shoot, though, because I only have one good arm. Probably pistols. Just big guns. I don't know. I tried that. You can see in my intro where I tried. It was awesome. But I like to come on the podcast because I like talking about about RC to people that don't know about it because I love RC. Lefty McFarland. You're right, Lefty. There are more to RC than just racing. I recently got an Axial SCX24. Dude, that's what I was doing all this weekend. But not with stock Axial, not with stock SCX24s. Highly modified, awesome ones. And wait till I'll check out RC Hubs and Hers in the course Compound 24. Dude, hitting a line and doing that stuff, I get the same adrenaline rush as racing almost. Need to get a decent video game. VRC Pro is too. That would be good. You know who wants to make a RC video game? Park and Click. That's his goal. Alrighty. Well, guys, it is 3:09. I'm going to get dressed. I am hungry. We're going to go get some food. I want to thank you all. It's been entertaining talking to you. Hey, somebody hit up Wally and say, Lefty said, let's do a coffee and RC next week. Ryan Owens, send me some notes that you want me to talk about, and I'll talk about them for you. But thank you for joining in. You did make it entertaining. And maybe I should go to a psych ward because I actually think I'm going to change RC. But I still believe RC can be better and bigger. I don't know if I could click on that, but let me see. I'll have to check it out. Send it to my messenger and I'll check it out. Oh, he did. Thank you. I appreciate you, sir. RC, thank you for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. He says, I have many students who have arms like yours. Awesome. I'm always willing to try. I've only shot a gun about 5 times in my life. So I'd definitely like to do it. Perry 1G, good to see the video version. I've listened to the podcast before. Awesome, man. Come back on and race with us. Don't let us RC nerds scare you away from racing. We want new people in there, but we're nerdy. We get it. You know, most of us are introverted, not this guy, but definitely, yes. The Dead Pair reaches over 4,000 different cities around the world. #1 podcast in sporting clays and top 100. That's awesome. Is that your podcast or is that one you listen to? I guess it's yours. I'd definitely love to be on that and talk RC and learn about shooting because I know nothing about it. But I like talking to people and learning new stuff. So good. I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in today. We greatly appreciate it. 3 hours of coffee and RC in the makeshift studio here in the camper. You would even see my laptop charging cord. I had to splice it and put it together last night because it stopped working. I need to get some electrical tape. She's all janky, but it worked. I just can't let the wires touch or we might fry something. Then, of course, I didn't have my microphone on. Such a noob. We want to say thank you to all you guys for all the support, man. We can't do it without you. A big shout out to all the sponsors that make this possible. They are GA Concepts, High Tech RC, Sidewinder, Beach RC, Invisible Speed, Techno RC, Clinic RC, ML Toys, Elite RC Productions, One Up, Mayako, A Main Hobbies, SMC Batteries, and you know we're just gonna leave the Racecraft one up there for a while in memoriam of them. Shout out to Chase, man. Keep your head up. Love you like life. Hope to see you at the track. Happy birthday to my buddy, Axel Owen. Happy birthday to you if you're listening to this. I sent you a message. You didn't message me back. I will be back next Monday, guys, unless I do stay. If I'm not back next Monday, it's because I stayed and raced this weekend. Ryan Owen. Continue being Ryan Owen. Shoot me a message. I had fun playing, going back and forth with you today. I like that. I do. I think it might be JQ, though. I think it's JQ and a bot. Might be J, because he seems very JQ-ish. Who knows? Well, good thing. If JQ would have showed on, he would have came up here and then we would have went for another 4 hours. And not happening. And thank you, everybody, for the super chats. We greatly appreciate it. And please, if you guys can support the Lefty's RC Life. And we have some really good podcasts out, and they're not got good numbers. So we have the INS warm-up. That was a good show. Lots of good info. Lots of talking about silly season and stuff with Rona and then do tire wars. We had the test logger interview come out with Jussie, which is awesome. You guys always talk about innovation. Go check that out. That's badass. This week we'll have an interview with Paul Thacker dropping as well. That's good. The Paul Thacker is awesome. He tells his story. And yeah, we have some good podcasts in there, but I need you guys to go in there, listen to them, get them up. And yeah, I took a break this week. I didn't have one. And if I'm home, we'll be going live next week. Hopefully Wally will join us. But with that said, thank you, everybody. I appreciate all you guys. Oh, hold on. Let's see what the poll was. So the poll was, is Mikhail Orlovsky the best all-around RC driver at the moment? 66% said yes, and 34% said no. I would say 98 votes. Well, who is better than him right now all around? Interesting. Very interesting. Who would you think is better than him? And Dana, see you soon, as well as Kyle and Jimmy. Thank you for the link. And Chad, hit me up on Facebook. Probably the easiest thing, Keenan Keith White. And I would love to come on your show and learn more about clay shooting. And you know what's going to happen? I'll probably be interviewing you. That's what happens when I go on there. I don't know. I can never turn off interview mode. Ryan Owens, thank you. You're my huckleberry. I'll talk to you guys later. Lefty is out. And thank you to all the NNRC squad around the world, because you know I can't find my outro. See you guys later. Lefty is out. Have a good day, everybody.